celebration of the Holy Eucharist with the Jesuits from the Philippine province. Keep the faith. Daily Mass for Hope and Healing streams from Monday to Sunday at 8 o'clock in the morning on Radyo Katipunan's Facebook page, YouTube channel, Twitter feed, and other social media partners.
Meron? Ano nga ba ang meron? Paano nga bang mabuhay ng tapat sa meron? Don't you wish you can relive your philo classes? The terror teachers? The terrible oral exams? Or the even terrifying but liberating and life-changing aha moments? Lundagin mo, baby! Here's your chance! Lundagin mo, baby! Kasama ang mga pilosopong sina Jovi Miroy at Ron Capinding. Lundagin mo, baby! Leaping upward, leaping forward. Lundagin mo, baby! Leaping to greater heights, to greater wisdom, to greater magis. Lundag na, Ateneo! Listen to the sounds of the times, straight up from the source. Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle.
To listen to music that uplifts the soul, follow JustCom PH on Spotify and JustCom Music on YouTube. Our music is also available on iTunes and Deezer.
Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM. Palalimin ang kamalayan sa mga isyong napapanahon. Makisangkot at makiisa kasama ang simbahang lingkod ng bayan. Ang Social-Political Apostolate ng Kapisanan ni Jesus. Ito ang Kwentuhang Bayan mula alas 11 ng umaga tuwing Biyernes dito lang sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Dahil naniniwala kami na posible ang isang mas mabuting lipunan at maaari itong simulan sa isang kwentuhan. Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at sa loob, sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng kwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero, sugod, todo sa kayod, dunong at lipat na Blue Eagle, galing giting nagigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan.
It's time to level up! Your talk variety program showcasing the best in media and other fields. As we feature the most loved personalities and the best practices of what we truly refer to as Magis. Together with multi-awarded multimedia guru Mr. Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Paulit-ulit ka na plano. Ito paulit-ulit ngunit lagi din naman
said, parang sa akin ito. Kasi sa actors, okay. Artistry and all. Ha? Okay. All good already, all the best.
We're live
And that's
naman.
when we are live. Anyway, we're here now on Level Up. And this is not just a promo for a movie in the Summer Metro Manila Film Fest, but this is supposed to be a master class. Because I will be with two of the most brilliant young actors in this industry. We have one of them. Turns out, well, a good friend of mine and someone doing a film also with the Jescom. Elijah Canlas, how are you, my friend?
Hello, good
Kumusta ka?
afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Don't you miss the
again.
campus? Don't you miss the campus?
Yup, I super miss school life.
Yes,
and
yes.
first time ko to guest here face to face.
Yes,
I've done this
yes,
before,
mine.
but for Zoom all the time. So.
Nasabi kong ganito, parang, ay, ang ganda lang. Kasi these two people, pag pinag-aralan to ng mga tao, parang meta eh. Meron silang pag-aaralan at may mga insights about not only art, pero buhay. So, is it the first time you ever came into the campus? No, you were here for the Jescom.
Yep, of course.
What's your impression of the Tina campus?
I love this campus, actually. You know, I'm from UP Manila.
Yes.
So our campus is PGH, the hospital, basically, beside the hospital. And syempre, I grew up visiting UP Diliman a lot.
That's
and my
right.
brother's from UP Diliman. And I did a play here when I was 14 years old.
Saan?
Sa Tanghalang Ateneo.
Galing.
Uh,
Mamaya after nito, kung may oras kayo, daan tayo sa Arete kasi they're opening Joshua sa tour na.
I'm watching. I got
tonight?
tickets na.
Not tonight.
Yeah,
Ayun,
yeah,
just
not
mag-hello at mag-vlog
Actually,
lang tayo
nakuha
sa mga
kong
taong
ticket
yun.
was for April 2, pero parade pala yun ng
Oo, ng
So,
hapon.
kailangan
Pero
ko
hapon,
baguhin.
pwede
Hapon.
naman ng gabi.
Hapon yung ticket ko.
Tamang-tama. Anyway, so mamaya exchange natin. Pero yun lang, iba yung vibe, no? Parang when you're back on campus, iba rin talaga na nakaharap mo yung mga estudyante. And yun, and you miss school because of what? What do you remember about school?
I miss school because of the schedule and
Yes,
just being with
tama
friends,
yun.
basically. You
Tama
know?
yun. Sometimes the books, the things, parang makuha mo naman yun sa Google, di ba? Or sa library and all, no? Pero it's really the discipline when you have schedules. Yun yung disiplina yata eh. Yung meron kang nakaset na schedule, tutuparin mo yun, na kahit puyat ka, kahit ano man yung mangyari sa'yo. And it's the reality of really good personal relationships with people. And then, also in school, only in school, that you're able to network with people na walang interest.
Exactly.
Kaya yung babalikan mo, di ba? Yung babalikan mo parang yun yung walang judgment ka. Yan din, di ba? Away from show business. If you have a core from school,
Exactly.
anong interaction mo with them?
You know, do
they ask you about show business?
Not so much, actually. They're
okay,
very
good.
respectful towards that, but they always support every work that I do.
Galing naman.
You know, my friends
Galing
from UP or my friends from Makiling.
Galing
You know,
naman.
we still see each other, we still hang out.
Galing.
So, nandun pa rin yung core ng school friends.
Pero, nagtatanong sila about showbiz, or kayo ni Miles. Yung mga ganun, di ba? Parang may
Wala.
closet, yung
Parang-
mga tao na gusto rin makiisa dun sa nangyayari.
Yeah.
Pero, parang alam nila yung Elijah na mas personal, na mas kasama nila sa school. So, hindi masyado.
But they were one of the first people to know about my relationship when it was starting, nung tinatago pa namin siya. And they're very supportive.
At pwede
talaga.
mong maitago, di ba?
Pwede may tayo kasi I can trust them.
That's your core. That's
Yeah.
your core there. Next, also, you intend to go back to school again?
Definitely.
Paano?
Yes.
Paano?
Actually, nakalowa ako right now. But once the schedule frees up, of course, I'm gonna go back
At saka
to
pwedeng
it.
online. Di ba?
Pwedeng
Pwede
online.
ng online
Yeah. Sa
din.
UP Manila especially kasi nga we're beside the hospital.
Kasi how can you teach your kids eventually to like school or to
Yeah.
eventually be
Ako, I
disciplined
love
in
school. I love
Ako
school.
rin eh. What about school do you like?
Mainly because I always choose my subjects, things that I'm really interested in. So
That's
when
true.
I
That's
take my
true.
classes, I'm genuinely focused. I'm
Sandali,
genuinely...
anong year ka na supposedly sa UP Manila?
Supposedly, I'm
Oo.
supposed to be at my last year this year.
Oh my God. So
I'm
what?
still second year
Paano
standing.
yun? Can your other classes be credited?
Yeah, still can be
Pwede
credited.
pa rin. Pero meron yun, di ba, deadline? Kunyari, after 10 years at di mo na
Yeah,
So,
may-
pwede.
Pwede pa. Kaya pa.
Okay, what kind of student were you? Were you diligent? Were you serious?
I'm the guy at the back most of the time. Yeah, I'm the guy at
Dahil
the back.
late, hindi naman.
No, hindi dahil
hindi.
late. Either, especially nung UP days when I was working.
Ayaw
na-
nang papansin, parang ganun.
Yeah, ayaw magpapansin.
Pero alam mo kung sino yung freshman, di ba, sa class?
Definitely.
O yung bago,
Yeah.
yung tipong talagang, flashy outfits. and
flashy
iba yung
outfit,
dating.
mahilig mag-recite, yung mga ganun.
Hindi ka ganon.
Hindi masyado.
Hindi ka ganon. Saan tambayan mo doon?
Sa amin kasi sa UP Manila, sa Robinsons Manila. Yun lang kami. Pero in UP Diliman, of course, like Area 2, ganyan, Sunken.
No, not library, not the nerdy library,
library
not the
also.
tambayan of the orgs.
Definitely the library kasi dun malakas ang aircon.
Okay.
Pag pawis na pawis
Tama
na,
naman yun. Tama
dun
naman
na ako
yun.
papasok.
O dun malapit yung barbecue na masarap. Di
Yes,
ba? Yun
totoo
yung,
din.
yun yung ano. So, also, saan ka kumakain? It matters kung nasa school, di ba? Budget meals, yung and the all. Na-try mo lahat yung nasa paligid. O, di ba?
Sa PGH especially, may nagbebentang Paris, 25
Na
pesos.
mura, yes.
25
Ibig sabihin,
pesos.
alam mo sa UP na may gubat. Yun yung yun. Iba na,
Yes.
tipong, dati sa atin na sa amin, Pampanggen yan, na dapat hindi ka talaga umover sa 100. Di naman, ganun.
may ganun.
Panahon pa namin yan. Pero so, may, talagang hindi ka pwedeng magtakda ng mas mataas na presyo. So, yun. Next, memorable teachers. Because, important yan na, may changing of notions. Sa amin, okay kami sa mga terror teachers. Pero it seems like times have changed. And parang bansa natin, parang hindi na terror yung nag-work. Nag-work yata mas yung maging kaibigan mong teacher and more people are parang open to learning pag ganun. Sinong teachers yung binabalik-balikan mo?
Just definitely the ones na naging friends.
Totoo.
Definitely the ones na naging friends. Pero marami kasi mga terror teachers na mahanap mo yung kilite eh.
Were you drawn to them too?
Yeah, even the terror teachers, like, gusto ko
galing,
mahanap yung kilite. Hindi
galing,
naman sa
galing.
pagsisip-sip
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like, alam kong tao din sila.
And you challenge your minds also,
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
So, ikaw yung nagpapalit ng submission?
Sometimes.
yeah. Tell
Sometimes.
about your quirks as a student. Diba?
Yeah, sometimes.
Na late ng submission kasi parang while all the others have submitted, parang ito magtatatak. Ano pa?
Yeah, may mga ganyan.
Ano yung
Or
way mo para magtatak yung ano mo?
usually, like, makapal yung mukha ko to send them a message or send them a
Good,
text
good,
to ask
good.
questions talaga. If I have questions, I would
That's
ask them.
true.
Hindi ko natatanong sa classmate ko, natatanong pa sa kanya. Like, ako I'll go straight to my profs. And I think they appreciate that, you know, the
Yes,
open line of
yes.
communication and the fact that, you know, I seem like I'm really into learning from them.
It's like that now. Parang nagbago na nga yung dati. Parang, wag ka maingay. Di ba?
Yeah.
May noisy, ano pa. Ngayon, like the movies, like media, mas collaborative na rin kahit yung learning process.
Yep.
Pero yung terror, how do you deal with the terror teachers?
I just stay quiet talaga.
Meron.
Nasa likod lang talaga ako most of the
So,
time.
hindi ka
eh.
madiskusyon?
Hindi.
Hindi rin.
Yeah.
Okay. School activities that you're drawn to. Were you drawn to the UAAP games?
Yeah.
Or traditions? You were also.
Yes. I would
You
watch the
were
basketball
also.
games. I just watched the last finals.
Okay,
Eh.
okay.
Talo kami, but congratulations.
That was a good game. That was a good game. That
But it
was
was
a
a
good
great
game.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At saka naman kayo, manalo lang kayo, pwede na kayong bonfire.
Yeah. Happy na kami. Happy na kami. We won last year. Happy na
Yeah,
kami
that
dun.
is the whole spirit. Na tipong manalo lang ang UP, go, sige, through. Ayun, with all the, parang hindi na naman priority talaga yon, di ba? Pero, yun, nananalo na kayo. Other school traditions that you like, look forward to?
Definitely PE. I love PE.
Talaga?
Yeah, I love PE. Hindi siya tradition, pero I love my PE classes.
Dito merong recreational activity na PE, yung tipong the parlor games.
Parang masaya yun.
Meron kayong ganun?
Wala eh. Mahilig ako pumili ng PE na mas sports.
Like
Because
what?
we're very athletic as a family. So everything like badminton to basketball to swimming to football. Like I want to try those or anything na makakapag-workout ako.
So you are really competitive?
Very.
Always?
Very. Always, yeah.
So how do you deal with losses? Yung maganda rin yan, kasi the learning there is, iba yung sports, iba yung artist.
Yep.
Kasi pag artist, okay, mas collaborative. Less competition, supposedly. Pero ito yung losing and winning, you've come to terms with that too early?
Yeah, definitely.
galing.
Parang kasi with every win or with every loss, you learn something.
Hindi ka
For sure.
nagtatagal dun sa loss. Hindi ka rin, naaliw ako dun sa mga taong ang dali ng tipong, nanalo ka ng ganyan ko ng award. Parang, high ka one moment, next day, sige, trabaho na agad.
Yeah,
And that's a
definitely.
very grounded point of view, ha. Meron yung iba, alam natin to sa industriya, na tipong nagka-award feeling niya, best
Wala
actor na
na.
sa all
Forever.
throughout, forever,
Yeah,
di ba?
yeah.
Alam natin yun. Ang ganda lang, it's the athlete's training, Yung win some, you
Maybe.
lose some.
Yeah.
Yung tipong ang galing
Ganun,
nila.
that's how I deal with the industry as well. I lose projects, I audition, I don't get some roles.
Yes.
Nag-quit na nga ako sa acting before I went back. And may ganun lang na parang even if I lose, I'll still keep going because I'm gonna learn
galing.
myself.
Galing.
I'm gonna learn something from myself.
Galing. And other things ba you've learned from school that you wanna share? Galing, no? Parang,
Madaming nadadala into the industry or into our line of work na mga natutunan sa school. But definitely, it's being thick-skinned.
That's true.
Sobrang
That's
importante yun,
true.
especially in
That's
show
true.
business.
That's true.
Kailangan makapal talaga yung balat mo.
Eto, you ever had meetings to set another meet? In show business, Yung tipong, okay, you talk about a lot of people and a lot of things. O set na lang another meeting for that. In school, you cannot.
Yeah,
Di
you
ba?
can't.
Parang doon ako na, parang I thought I can marry the discipline in academe and the creativity in media. That's a good, parang compromise. Pero yung tipong, walang agenda. Do you end up asking for that in mga meetings sometimes?
Yeah, usually I ask for the agenda agad when the meeting
paano
starts.
kung wala?
Pag wala, yun na nga, like, chikahan muna yan, di ba?
Oo,
Chikahan
ang
muna.
ang
Tapos parang,
tagal.
okay, ito yung pwede nating agenda for the next meeting.
Yun
So, medyo
Yun,
nagigets
yun.
ko na yung takbo, pero hindi nga siya like school na, ito agad yung agenda, we have to finish it in a span of 2 days or an hour or
That's
whatever.
true. Yung mga agreed points and eventually agreed time
Yeah.
even. As a student before, did you try to bring assignments to work? Because you were working as an actor already, you're part of it professionally. Okay.
Madami. On set,
Yes,
I would be
yes.
doing papers when I
How
was
different was that? Because Mikey ko ako sa student. And yun, napaka-disiplinado yung tipong nagdadala siya talaga ng assignment. And people will respect you more kaysa makapag-chismisan ka.
That's true.
Or di ba, yun yung...
Ganun din yung vibe before, but when I was going to school kasi, pre-pandemic, yung mga movies na ginagawa ko, most of the time support roles. So I had a lot of time to do my homework or papers or like meetings with my classmates.
And people in the set would understand.
Yeah, they would understand kasi like, ang next sequence ko is like,
Matagal pa.
Yeah, 4 hours later pa.
Okay,
So
okay.
I can do my
Okay.
work muna. But nowadays, kaya...
But with Aga Mulak, you can.
Yeah, suntok sa buwan. I
Okay,
was
you can.
talking to Kuya Aga about this na parang Kuya Aga.
Kulit kaya nun.
Super kulit. I just saw him last Sunday. He's the best.
No, kaibigan natin.
Tinatanong ko sinasabi ko sa kanya na Kuya Aga, I'm thinking of going back to school after this because I miss it. Ganyan. But he also told me na, are you stupid? Sabi niya, look at where you are right now. You should strike when the iron's hot. So sabi ko, you know what?
But the
Good
nice
point.
balance would be, okay, but if I have time, di ba?
Yeah, sabi niya
That's
naman,
true,
it will
too.
always be there.
That's,
It will always be there. But these things sometimes, the offers or whenever the iron's hot,
totoo naman.
there's a time for it lang.
He has a point. He
He
But,
knows this more than
Of course.
anyone. Yeah.
But there's nothing like eventually, kasi di ba may mga anak din siya, no? What if your parents will, parang will tell you, sige, mag-aral ka. Tapos sila mismo hindi.
Yeah.
That was Juday and Ryan's problem. So Juday had to finish culinary school.
Oh, wow.
So, para sabihin niya sa mga anak niya, oo, nag-aral ako, anak. Yun yung tipong gano'n. So, yan parang walk the talk. Yun yung
Yeah,
tipong
you have to
gano'n
walk
yung klase. But, yes, may ganong disiplina dun sa ano. What else about school do you
Really miss? I think, yung mga food trip, yung mga
That's true.
tusok-tusok. You just
That's
go outside
true.
the campus, may mga fishball.
do you get this feeling, the plurality of ideas?
in school?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kasi in showbiz, somehow we get the answers we want to get. Parang, yun
That's
parang,
so interesting.
parang yung ibibigay nila sa'yo kung anong gusto mo marinig.
Yeah.
Well, in school, you can just say anything and you
Yeah.
learn that thing. In our industry, sometimes it's so swak na dapat, okay, align kayong lahat.
Yep.
We can handle dissonance more here
Yep.
because it's the playing field
I
for
think
that.
I'm trying to keep that same mentality when I'm on set because the school
Galing, no?
the school is just a space for learning.
That's
That's why
true.
you're more like more energized or more encouraged to think about ideas and
That's true.
be excited in general. So on set, I feel like I still have a lot to learn. So I'm still excited to like
Pero yung
learn from this
dynamics ba sa
guy.
set, para rin para rin kailangan may teacher ka na dapat siya yung tama.
Yeah, that's a director for sure.
Oo,
That's a
eh.
director.
Oo,
So
eh.
sometimes we're in the tent with my co-actors ngayon. Sa
Oo,
Kumburza lang, kumari recently, we were talking about,
With
okay,
Pepe
how will
Joke,
you...
no?
With Pepe
Okay.
Joke na, like, how will you do this? How will you do this? Pwedeng ganito, pwedeng
That's
ganito. Ganito ko i-breakdown to. And then, sabi niya, okay, tanungin natin si Direk, Pepe.
So in
kung
the end,
okay
it's
yun. In the
that.
end, it's his choice eh. Because this is his vision.
And
He's
in
the
the
director.
in the end, alam niya kung ano yung zoom in niya to zoom out. Kung
Exactly.
nakapit niya sa camera
But
o
at the same
hindi.
time, directors really appreciate that when the actors are very collaborative that way, when they bring their own choices into
Swerte
it,
mo.
not just the script. So far, lahat ng mga director ko, they love that from me. But
Puti.
I heard may mga directors na parang, no,
Meron.
akin lang to, may
Meron.
choices na ako dyan, susundin mo lang yung direction ko.
But somehow, you look forward to working with those also.
Yeah,
Oo,
actually.
no? Oo, no?
Kasi I feel like I still learn something from them. And even if I don't agree with them, sometimes that's experience that I get to bring home.
Galing,
And bring to
galing,
my next work or my
galing,
next production.
galing. Kasi parang school din yan. Na somehow, well, may mga times na you sign up for a certain teacher that you really like to enroll in. Pero kung di mo makuha, ma-assign ka talaga sa, hindi mo man pinili, may matututunan ka pa rin. So, yes. But there's greater, yun nga, plurality of ideas, I guess, or more discussions.
Yep.
Kasi ito yung plane na yun. When you come to the set, I think they're more set into what they want to accomplish. Yun siguro. Ano. Your theater background helped you a lot, especially with this film.
Definitely.
Yeah. Why so? They said it's really, well, I've seen it and it's really like theater. Did you memorize lines?
I memorized everything.
You had to.
Yeah. It took me a whole week to memorize it. So I chopped the whole script down into 4
Galing,
units.
galing.
And it took me 1 day to finish at least 1 unit. And,
So, meron pa pala.
and
Nakaka-memorize
actually,
ka pa rin.
my brother and the Miles were the ones
Yeah.
who would help me throw lines. You know,
Okay.
help me memorize it. Na parang, okay, feeling ko memorize ko na. Can you help me?
Okay.
Because they would throw with me.
Yung kapatid
And-
ho nito, pwedeng mag-artista rin. Or
Yeah.
artista rin actually.
Mahusay
So,
yun. Yeah. Birthday niya
magaling.
yesterday.
At
Happy birthday
Happy
sa kuya ko.
birthday. Ang galing.
Happy birthday.
So that, kailangan nung kabatuhan, kailangan nung memorize. So kailangan ng talas ng isip. Yun ang sasabi ng show business ay wala lang. Hindi. Kung seryosohin mo yung trabaho mo, kailangan mo rin talagang, well, it's really mind, body, and spirit. So the part sa mind, yun nga, kailangan nung memorize. Nung binigay sa'yo, yung hinatag sa'yo yung script, did you like say, yes, I wanna do it?
I wanted to do it, but it was just scary kasi nakakatawa. Before I got that script, me, Direct June, and Direct Percy, while I was still under their management, we had a meeting, and Direct June was the one who told me na siguro stop ka na muna sa indies. Like, let's try to penetrate the mainstream, so don't do any indies for now.
How did you take it?
At first, I didn't like it because
Okay.
that's my home, you know,
That's
making
true.
indie movies,
That's
and
true.
that's where
You're indie king now.
Yeah.
you.
I'm an
You
indie
are.
kid. I'm an indie kid.
Pa. Huy, overgrown.
But-
naman.
But I respected them kasi
Okay.
their choice, and I trusted their choice because
That's
of
true.
course they know more than I
That's
do.
true.
So I just trusted that. Pero in-offer sa akin to, they made me read the script
After saying that?
after saying that. So I'm like, na-confused ako bigla. Okay, so this is an art film, you know? This is
Okay.
something super unique to Philippine cinema, basically. So medyo nagtaka ako. And also reading it was really heavy. It took me I think 2 days, hindi ko sila ni-replyan. Kasi nga,
Okay.
I was just trying to like simmer all of it in. But at the end of the day,
Why did you accept it? Ako yun, magandang.
yeah.
This is about us and not about us. Why did you accept it?
I think at the end of the day, I thought it was a powerful material.
Yes, it is.
And as an actor who is really hungry for challenging roles, About Us But Not About Us is really it. You know, it's an actor's dream to play several roles in
That's
one
true.
movie. And
That's
that's
true.
It's crazy. And how will we get to like deliver on that or materialize that? And nasa actor yun.
And maintaining a connection for the whole hour and a half with just two actors there.
Sitting down and talking.
Grabe yun.
Yeah.
Grabe
But the way it's
yun.
written, it's very thrilling already. It's very
Yes.
it's very interesting already. It's not
Yes.
boring at all. But syempre, it's an actor's job to keep it as engaging as
So
possible.
first challenge, were you frightened at all?
I was frightened just because of how personal it is. There was a
Yes.
lot of pressure to deliver because it's a very personal material for my director. So I just wanted to justify it the best way that I can
Did
for
you
him.
ask questions?
I asked a lot of questions,
Like
but
what? I wanna ask. Well, I also wanna know. Because with this material, hindi po pwedeng kailangan dumaan lang yung mga dialogues.
Yeah.
Kailangan nyo pong tignan yung dynamics ng dalawang artista. And more than that, it's the subtext, yung what they're not saying.
Yep.
Yun yung ano yan. Tipang may layer ka ng minemorize mong lines, pero yung mahalaga kung ano hindi nyo sinasabi.
Yep.
So, kahit ngayon pagpunta nyo ng banyo, mahalaga. Yung tipong yung hingang yun. No? So, here, what were your questions? Material pa lang, mind. Kasi di ba, mind, body, spirit, yung tool ng isang actor. So, ano yung mga tinanong mo?
At the time, I was just careful of, I didn't want to offend anyone.
That's
because that material is speaking of a lot of truth in his life, in Direk Jun's life, and his life. I know some people from his life, and I'm related to people in his life.
Yun yata yung ano ka. But of course, when people watch it, lalo na pag sa ibang bansa, parang
Hindi
totoo naman
alam.
the author's dead.
Yeah.
Yun naman, the
Art
author's
is art. That's
art
what
is
the
dead.
whole movie
pero
said.
when we know these people, and so what were your questions?
So yun yung questions ko, like, sino to? Who is Marcos? Who is Eric? Ganyan. Is this gonna be okay with them? Is this gonna be okay with him? Because
Ang galing.
I
That's
don't
very
wanna-
responsible of you to have asked.
Yeah, I don't wanna cross any lines because, I have so much love
Ano
and
sabi ni
respect for
Jun?
these people. I remember I auditioned for it. He made me audition for it.
Also. Ang ganda ng process, ha?
Yeah.
At ikaw hindi masama sa loob mo, masakit sa loob ng mga audition.
No, I love auditions
Ang galing.
because that's where
Galing.
I get to show my
Galing.
talent and whatever.
At saka equal yung playing field sa audition. No? Parang hindi ka tulad nung ikakast ka na, parang pasok ka na talaga. Ito
Yeah.
talagang I earned it. You
Yeah.
earned it. Yun mo na mararamdaman. So you auditioned for
I
this.
auditioned.
How did it
but
go? You didn't get the whole
I
script.
at that point, the first time I auditioned, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it pa. Because I haven't had those meetings with him, asked those questions with him. I just read the material, I thought it was heavy, and I felt like, baka too much to for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, hindi ako masyado nag-prepare. Hindi ako nag-prepare at all
Sa
for the
audition.
audition. Yeah. And I just did it, and then we finished. Tapos parang a week goes by and Direk Percy tells me na, hey, magpapa-audition daw ulit si Direk Jun
Galing.
kasi bakit daw ganun yung ginawa mo? Or
Because they know what you can deliver.
I guess, yeah. Tapos Direk Percy knows how competitive I am. So medyo na may mga na-push ang buttons by
na-trigger
saying
daw.
na mas magaling daw sa'yo si ganyan.
Ah,
So I'm like,
okay.
hindi ako papayag na mas magaling sa akin si...
Ibang klase
Ganyan.
mag-trigger ng mga...
So, callbacks,
Okay.
auditions, and I was in
No, but
Subic.
so you wanted the role at once. You wanted to play it na.
Not yet.
Hindi pa
Not yet, but I just wanted to show them na, hey,
Kaya ko.
I'm better. Like I can do this. If
Gets
I
kita.
just put my heart into it, I can do this.
Gets kita
So
doon.
nung callback yun, prepare talaga ako, nasa Subic pa kami
May
ng family
units
ko
pa and
nun.
all.
Yeah, like complete, kinomplete ko yung work.
May nuances and
Kinomplete
all.
ko, like may animal may verbs ako.
Yeah,
I play the
yes.
snake through my lines, mga
Very
ganun. Tapos, the very next day, yun, nag-set na ng meeting si Direk Jun. It's mine na daw. If I want it,
Okay.
I have 24 hours to think about it.
Grabe naman. Grabe to. Okay,
I have
and then?
24 hours to think about it. So I told Direk Jun why nga I was kind of hesitant to do it. But at the same time, I feel like since it's an actor's dream,
Ang
I'd just be
ganda.
stupid if I didn't take it.
That's
You know,
true.
this is a
That's true.
once in a lifetime offer for an actor.
Totoo rin.
And
Breakthrough, no? Baka
Yeah.
breakthrough role to.
yeah, and I can detach from the person and just treat the material as art. And that's what the whole script is saying.
That's
That's why
true.
it's like, this is genius, like crazy genius type of thing.
That's true.
So, yeah, I talked to Direct Percy, Direct June, and the next day I just said, all right, I'm game. I'm committing to this and I'll do this.
Okay. What were the demands of the character? It was difficult. Difficult because yun nga of the subtext. Ako, maganda yung the ethical question. Inano mo na, parang sino ba maapektuhan nito? Kasi as an actor, hindi ka lang dun sa craft, kundi ano yung repercussions ito after. But at least, you had that as a concern. Second was, really maintaining that whole thing on screen. Na dalawa lang kayo.
Yeah.
Weren't you insecure at a certain point na tipong, sino audience natin dito?
No, I was just excited because
Hindi
I was
talaga.
working with the best team, you know?
So parang, nga sila Lord.
I mean,
and
Neil
Neil
Daza,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Maulen was our
That's
PD.
true.
It was the A team basically.
That's true.
So the fact that all of these people are committed to this, kasi even before we started shooting, si Direct Jun mismo nagsabi sa akin while we were having a meeting na, all right, we're doing something really crazy. So it's either it's gonna work really well or we're gonna fail so hard. So I'm like, sabi niya, game ka ba? Sabi ko, oo naman, game ako kapag ganyang klaseng mga risks.
Minsan
And
na yan,
now I got to watch it. I feel like it worked. You know, I'm very proud of it.
First time we watched it last Tuesday, na? Tuesday. What was your first reaction?
It all came back to me how heavy the whole process was.
Yes.
'Cause when we
Doon
were
pa rin
shooting
tayo sa
it,
mind, Parang
Yep.
ako, did you see yung mga questions mo on certain parts of the script?
yeah, definitely. Because I forgot the whole thing. We shot this
Talaga?
October 2021.
Na pag ginawa tong play, parang wala na yung...
Wala
hindi
na yung
hindi mo
line sa akin
na-memorize,
masyado.
wala na.
Pero
Okay.
when I was watching it, may mga na-realize ako, nawala tong part na to, nawala tong part na
So
to.
marami ring
But
natanggal.
ako mismo nasa-surprise ako because I kind of detached from it na. I
Okay.
remember just after the shoot, I drove around BGC just
To
trying
just
to
shake it off, da?
Yeah, to just shake the whole thing off because it was a heavy experience for
That's
all of
true.
us, definitely. And I just shook it off and I put my script in a box and I never looked back at it.
But you
ever.
filed it, of course.
Yeah, I filed it, but away from all my other scripts.
Okay.
Because this is something special and something heavy and maybe something that I don't want to revisit until I get to watch it. And now that I got to watch it, I just feel like, aside from, hands down to everyone, but kahit ako, na-surprise ako sarili ko na, I did that.
Oo.
You know, I did that.
At no, I wanna ask, did you shoot in sequence?
Yeah, we did.
good,
But the
good.
flashbacks, yeah, I think we did shoot in sequence.
Ang galing.
Yeah.
Yun, ako, I have to give it to you kasi kailangan. Kasi kung hindi magmamount yung ganong tension ng sobra. Tsaka or makakonfuse kayo kasi walang reaction na pareho.
Yeah, and we only had one rehearsal.
Talaga?
Yeah, just like a day before our first day.
Na it
First
looked
time
like-
namin nakita in person. We were there on set. Nag-wear kami ng wardrobe. We changed. We took pictures. And then, for the poster. And then, nag-rehearse kami. Just isang pasada lang. Isang one run-through. Direct Jun would stop us from time to time.
At hindi pwedeng hindi nyo memorize yung linya.
No, pwede naman. Pwede
Pwede.
naman. Yeah, but at that point, memorize ko na yung akin eh.
Okay, let's welcome here, of course, ang institusyon. Romnick Sarmenta. Hello, boss. Dito ka na. Hello. Romnick, whom we cited sa Young Critics Circle sa Damong Ligaw. You remember? That may be the pinakamaganda mong pelikula so far. Yun. And probably after this, sabi ko nga, I was talking to Elijah about this, mahirap na sabihin nga parang, okay, best actor, isa sa inyo. Dapat pareho kayo. Or ensemble. Dapat yun talaga. Dalawa lang naman talaga kayo rito. But we're talking about mind, body, and spirit sa pagtanggap ng kahit anong proyekto. Buti nasa theater din kayo pareho, no? Oo, napapanood kita sa UP eh. Pero, pinag-usapan namin, yung unang reaction mo when you got the script. Kasi ako mismo, bilang kaibigan ng mga naggumawa, ang dami kong tanong.
Siguro sa akin yung first reaction ko, I was surprised kasi sa kaso ko, hindi naman talaga ako binigyan ng script to read before I decided to do.
Did you audition? Elijah did.
I guess in a way, hindi talaga siya formal audition, Pero they asked me kasi for a reading. Di ba pagka sa play,
That's
ganun ang audition
Oo.
Ipaparead
Pero hindi ka kinompare sa ibang artista. Si Elijah kinompare sa ibang artista.
hindi ko alam yun.
Hindi na. That's siya. Sabi niya, kinompare pa siya sa isang artista. Sabi niya, okay, at least, parang he had to prove himself. Ikaw, hindi na kailangan.
I think it's also a great way to find the best person for the role kasi. Hindi ko
Or they
alam.
were, I think, set with you.
I'd be honored if they were.
So, pero hindi ka sinabihan na meron pang ibang tao
Hindi.
They just ask you to read it.
They just asked me to read it. Tapos I felt lang na parang because of the theater background, ang feeling ko, siguro may iba pa silang tinitinan din.
Okay.
Which is fine, you know.
That's true.
I wanted to work with Direct June again because, as he said, we had worked together before. Pero he was doing the script. He wasn't directing. So parang, you know, it would be a good experience to have him as my director. And nung nagre-read na kami, I mentioned during the
Nagre-read kayo,
premiere.
hindi mo nabasa yung buong script.
Hindi ko pa nababasa yung buong script.
Yung ibang klase,
So,
no? Okay. Hindi mo plinano.
Hindi. I allowed myself to be affected by yung exchange tsaka yung kung ano yung nakasulat sa script.
Ang galing masterclass nga ito. So I'm trying to marry what I saw on screen and your process. Ibang klase yung pinagdaanan nyo. Na tipong,
Ako kasi nai-enjoy ko yung proseso nung nakikilala ko yung character habang binabasa ko yung script.
So hindi mo ni-require na, kailangan ko mabasa lahat at intindihin, okay lang sa'yo mag-piecemeal na na
Okay
bigay.
lang sa akin.
Galing,
It has happened to me a lot of times na
Yes,
parang
with directors, yes.
with different directors na kasi sa TV naman, hindi naman
You just
bibigay
have to
sa'yo
trust.
ng buong buo.
Totoo
Diba?
naman.
So,
Totoo naman.
siguro that's part of the training I'm coming from. Kaya medyo okay lang, komportable ako sa ganon. And it has happened to me na pag sa play before ganon din, they ask you to read. Tapos during the reading, parang marirealize ko, oops, hindi ko kaya gawin to. So I'd tell the director, sorry, I cannot do this. Yung ganon.
But
And I'd
this
have to
one,
back out.
you liked it na.
This one kasi, during the process of reading, ang dami kong nararamdamang emotions eh.
Galing.
Sa akin, magandang barometer yon for a script, for a good script. Pag, as I've said before, pagka a few pages in, naapektuhan
And
ako ng
there's
script.
butterfly in the stomach already. Totoo
sasabihin ko
yan,
na,
no?
"Ay, gusto ko yatang gawin to."
When you're close to a religious experience, yung tipong may kabakan na maganda, yun eh. So, kinabahan ka nung ginawa, nung nabasa mo to.
I don't think it's
Hindi
kaba.
kaba.
It's more of parang...
You were challenged to do it?
Hindi eh. Pero
Good.
you were talking about spirituality. There's a part of you that opens up.
That's true. That's
Na
true.
parang, I want
May
to get to know.
takot ka, pero di ba, susulong ka, gano'n.
Tsaka gusto kong makilala lalo tong taong to. The
Okay.
character itself.
Okay.
I want to know where he's coming from. Gusto kong malaman ano yung journey niya. And I think it's a gift of any good storyteller na mahulog ka for a character.
Okay,
Yung
I'll
ganun.
just have to ask this question. And when you knew that the storyteller was the director, though the life of the director mismo, mas natakot ka?
When he said that it's personal, I felt na I had to take care of it more.
Ang galing. Ang galing nun ng puntong yon. Kasi oo lalo na pag true to life yung character mo, di ba? Parang mas iingatan mo yon na you don't cross the line. Sabi nga ni Elijah kanina, he had to ask other people connected to that character. Yun din, that's a whole ethical part na tipong, wala kang masasagasaan.
It is. Parang, you mentioned Damong Ligaw.
History yun eh.
Florante Acabo
Oo.
is also a more or less a fictional character based on a true person.
Yes.
Pero when I did Gregorio del Pilar before sa
Yes,
Tirad Pass,
yes.
we had to go back and forth doon sa mga research nila. Tapos tinatanong ko talaga, so anong klaseng tao siya? You know? Kasi,
correct.
yeah, we all know na hero siya. Pero I wanna know who the person is.
That's true.
Diba?
That's true. And when you finally learned that it's June's story, you knew you had to take care of it more. Anong challenge na dagdag, Elijah?
Yun nga, for me, there was pressure, for sure. Because I respect Direk June very much. I look up to him. And even Direk Percy as well. and even just as artists, you know,
That's
much
true.
more than people. And there was just a lot of pressure to deliver, to justify this, because I just know that it was gonna be this whole cathartic experience for him, or therapeutic experience for him to see this. And you know, you would see him like just really focused and everything. Kasi sabi nga, direct, baka umiyak ka sa set pag nakita mo kaming ginagawa nito, ha? But he
Totoo
didn't
naman.
naman. He
Totoo
didn't
naman.
naman. But
Actually,
I'm
you wanted
sure,
to ask that, but
I'm
oo
sure
nga
they
eh.
were emotional then, you
But
know.
did he tell you about the inflection? Ba't ka naman naniniwala sa mga sabi-sabi? Parang did he tell you when you'd stress a point? Or ikaw na yan?
Parang nabasa ko lang in that writing. Kasi, you know, like in a script, there's always an
Nakapa-imposing
open and close.
no? Napaka-imposing ng line na yun eh.
But there are always like open-close parenthesis na snaps. Yung mga ganon, di ba? Or cuts in or butts in, ganyan.
Okay.
So minsan, it's also the way they write that you see what kind of
The nuance,
execution,
no?
more or less, they want done. Yung kung paano mo i-deliver, nasa sa inyo na yun. Pero there's a reading and the rehearsal before the scene. So if they don't like it, they can always correct you.
Okay.
And I'm always open to
Yeah.
that naman. But you know, it just felt natural. When you heard na it's a personal thing, ano yung additional challenge? I think ako personally, when somebody tells me, oh, this is a very personal piece to me, then it goes to show na meron silang shinare sa'yo about themselves. So, parang,
ako hanggat kahit after the movie, I was telling Omar, kasi mga kaibigan natin yan eh.
oo,
Parang,
diba?
oo,
And a lot of this information is something that you've never heard about before.
And all
diba?
throughout, of course, when art's done, yun nga sabi ko, the author's dead, the creator's dead, it's open for interpretation, but this one, we're so close to them.
Yeah.
Parang yun yung, ang hirap ihiwalay.
So, ako, personally, ang sabi ko, I'll give more of myself. It's the only way I can respond.
Trusting nyo, ang galing-galing.
It's
Yun,
the
hindi
only
alam
way
ng mga tao,
I can
kala nila,
respond.
ina-arte nyo lang yan, ha? But there's such a responsibility living up to the role, at saka yung hindi ka over. Kasi it can paint the person badly kung umover ka man lang.
Totoo. So, para siyang friendship. A relationship and friendship, di ba?
Titimbangin mo.
Pag pinagkatiwalaan ka ng isang tao, ng isang napakabigat na katotohanan sa buhay niya, hindi ka pwedeng mag-explain lang ng rhetorics or magsabi
Totoo
lang
yan.
ng logic eh.
Totoo
Kailangan mo din ibigay yung sarili mo, di ba? Yung
Totoo yan.
what's really coming from inside, kung ano yung sa palagay mo makakatulong sa kanya at ano yung sa palagay mo hindi niya kailangan, hindi mo i-include. So, ganun din yung pagbuhos ng sarili dun sa pagganap sa character. Hindi na siya pag-arte, pagsasabuhay na siya ng personality.
Okay, tell us, this being a master, sabi ko nga hindi to promo, this is a master class. So when people go back to dissecting the film, alam nila yung context, no? You had readings, and what happened to those readings?
What happened ba to those readings?
I think we had a couple.
Yeah, like 2 readings sa Zoom, and then just 1 reading in person a day before.
Was that just to familiarize you with the text, or meron na yung tipong, dito, nagmamount na to?
The first was, I think, to see kung ano yung chemistry namin.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
I
the
wanna ask
second-
that. First time you worked, nabasa ko hindi naman kayo first time. Nasabi,
Technically,
itong
first
batang
time.
to, alam na alam niya yung history, nagkita ka raw kayo dun sa Past Perfect. Yun.
Yeah,
Past,
present,
present,
perfect.
Present Perfect. So, pero hindi kayo magka-eksena.
No.
Hindi.
Did it
hindi
help
namin
that you didn't
nagka-eksena.
see each other first? Or parang hindi kayo ganun ka-familiar? Para hindi nyo kailangang i-shake off yung closeness, yung tipong the familiarity and all?
I think a closeness would help with a project like this. Kasi, obviously, dun sa characters, magkakilala talaga sila ng gusto. They've shared a few things. Pero, sa dynamic ng batuhan kasi, ganda rin nung nagkakapaan kayong dalawa, titimplahan kayo, di ba? Tinitingnan mo kung ano yung gagawin niya, tinitingnan niya kung ano yung gagawin mo. And hopefully the way you respond to each other makes it more believable. Parang gano'n.
Ang ganda ng point. Kasi parang yung timplahan dun kasi ikaw being familiar with him and the character, with your characters, ano rin, pareho kayong naninimbang pa rin after that reality that happened in the story. So, the reading was meant more for you, yan nga, to familiarize with each other. Wala pa yan yung tipong, okay, ito yung gusto natin patunguhan. So, hindi in-explain yan.
Hindi. Parang yung first yun, tininan muna yung chemistry namin. Yung second, parang they made adjustments to some of the lines.
Okay.
And then
I
yung
wanna
third,
ask that. Hindi ba kayo nabother ng Inglesan ng Inglesan?
No, I think it was fun.
No, it was
medyo
fun.
fun.
Ito na. Okay, konti lang makaka-pull off noon. At kayo kaya nyo yan. Kayong nagteatro at kayong aral, oo eh.
Yeah.
So, you didn't think of your audience?
At first, I was very cautious about that. Pero, yun nga, when Direct Jun was very adamant, saying na this is really a personal project.
So, okay lang.
But at
Go.
the same
Sige,
time,
let's
it's also
commit to
like
that.
experimental in terms of filmmaking. You know, he was... Everyone was excited on how everyone was gonna pull this off.
That's true.
How are we gonna pull this off? Just
That's
two
true.
people sitting down, two people talking, the whole movie.
At dali natin yung audience dyan kung gusto nila.
Yes,
Parang
everyone.
ganun,
Even
ano.
si Sir Neil Daza, who was a cinematographer, was very like excited about the whole project. So nandun kami lahat sa... ewan ko, nandun ako sa point na, okay,
Sige, gawin natin.
yeah,
to.
as a passionate guy for filmmaking, ganun, nandun yung excitement
Gets
ko.
kita doon. Ikaw.
same. Meron kasing technical and aesthetic aspect
That's
yung
true.
pelikula.
That's
So, reading the script the first time ng buo na ako lang, parang sabi ko, wow, paano nila ipo-pull off to?
Yung
Gusto
galing.
kong makita, di ba? And at the same time, parang, paano ko ipo-pull off to? Paano ko, di ba? Kasi, di-deliver mo eh. Tapos ikaw lang yun nandun. Saka yung ka-eksena
and
mo.
with your audience who know you as Piping.
Correct.
Who know, di ba, with your core audience. And, sige, magdadagdag pa ako ng isang layer. Paano yung 31 million? Oo, pare-pareho tayo ng pinanggagalingan. No? First year is about like tapping them and then them learning something more.
Personally sa akin, parang, alam naman natin na pinapanood nila yung mga foreign films. Nanonood sila ng MCU, nanonood sila ng mga pelikula nila,
Galing,
Harry
galing.
Styles at
Yes,
kung ano-ano
yes,
pa.
yes,
So
yes,
kung
yes, yes.
hindi man sila komportable yung magsalita ng English, naiintindihan nila.
Correct.
To give respect din sa audience, I think it's high time na makapanood naman sila ng gawa
Ng
natin na
iba.
matalino.
Ng iba.
Di ba? I mean, sorry, no
Challenging
offense.
them
Totoo
also.
rin naman. Totoo
Hindi
rin.
yung-
Yan yun yung parang nag-iisip sila even after watching the film.
Oo. Kasi
Ano nga ba yung nangyari doon?
ako
Parang
yun ang
ganun.
nai-enjoy ko pag nanonood ako ng pelikula
Totoo
eh.
rin naman.
Pag masyadong bigay lahat, parang okay, so it was
Totoo rin
entertaining
naman.
and then that's it. Kakalimutan mo na. Pero may
And-
mga pelikula na.
And the
Raises
movies that
questions.
stick with us are the ones that ask the questions. So, the ones na nagtatanong tayo kahit tapos na yung pelikula.
So kaya nag-iisip ka na kaya ko ba yon or hindi yung pag-arte pero yung kaya ko ba yung sitwasyon na yun? Ganon din ba magiging response ko? Or would I have done it
I wanna go there
differently?
later. But iba pa yung pagtatalaman dun sa artist mismo. Yung artistry muna, yung the body part. How did you prepare for that? The physicality of you being just the two actors there on screen. Ikaw, with a gay character, you've always been comfortable. Like I saw you in Miguel Michel. Parang your history, wala kang problema sa pag-arte ng those challenging roles. Wala.
I don't have any problems getting in touch with my feminine side.
That's true.
That's one.
True.
Two-
And you played with it even really well in that
Thank
film
you.
with Gil
Thank
Partes.
you. With Miguel Michel kasi, the peg were all the women in my life. Like my mom.
Ibang klase ka.
At that time, yung
Ibang
girlfriend
klase
ko,
ka rin.
sino man yung girlfriend ko at that time, yung mga kapatid kong babae,
Ibang
sila
klase
yung
ka
peg.
rin doon. Yeah.
Kasi, nung pinag-usapan namin yung character as a transsexual, sabi ko, so okay, so I would think na as a transsexual, wala bata, ang tingin niya sa sarili niya babae. So, hindi ako yung tipong
Galing mo doon.
coming out na typical.
Actually, hindi na nga coming out yung issue mo doon. It's really coming in. Na napaka-progressive kasi parang yung mga tao, parang major issue yung coming out. Hindi na. It's really integration in society.
Oo,
So,
parang pag tinatanong nga ako, sabi ko, hindi, Miguel ako doon for one scene. Pagdating ng sequence 2, Michelle na ako. So, alam mo, wala siyang progression.
doing this was not a problem.
Knowing that's
Hindi
not
mo
a
mas
problem.
mahirap.
When I was presented the character, I asked permission from Direct June kung pwede bang masculine gay ko siya ipe-play.
Okay.
And
Okay.
he went with it. Sabi niya, naman. Sige,
Ganun naman
sige
siya.
lang.
Ganun naman din siya.
Tsaka, at that time, yun lang yung naiisip kong paraan para i-differentiate siya kay Marcos.
At saka, and that was your contribution.
Yeah,
Diba?
parang ganon. Yeah.
Okay. But, ang galing. Kasi even the depth of that relationship, yung sa inyo, naramdaman mo nang wala kang Viva Max moment. Di ba? Parang walang ganun mo. Parang iba. At pag napanood nila, maintindihan nila yung dynamics ng relationship. Napakalalim ng pinagsaluhan. Pero, yung physicality, yung that whole sexual tension was there the whole time with the exchange. Pero, did you find yourself controlling your body or controlling certain things about you in making that whole role physical? At kailan mo nalaman doon sa dikta ng katawan mo na you were doing the right thing? Gusto ko makita ng mga nanonood na doon sa mga artista may nangyayari sa loob nila pag alam nilang tama yung ginagawa nila.
I think importante yung komportable ka. Komportable ka with your working environment, with the
Yes,
people you're working
yes.
with. And most of all, you trust yourself.
Yeah.
Marami akong napapanood na artista, both local and foreign, na
Anong asiwa?
minsan naiisip ko, pinlano niya to. Yung kilos, yung nuances. Kasi masyadong pinpoint, masyadong
Yeah.
eksakto. Ayokong mangyari sa akin.
Okay.
Gusto kong mag-react sa
As naturally as
kapaligiran
possible.
ko, sa kaiksena ko, sa mga sinasabi niya. Gusto kong maging honest sa nararamdaman kong gawin. Naalala ko during the premiere may nagtanong, yung lunok ba? On cue ba yun?
Nakita ko yun eh.
And sabi
Pero
ko,
paano yun? Yung Adam's Apple gumagano, no? Nanginginig, no? Hello?
sabi ko, hindi eh.
Hindi. Lalabas
Kailangan mo lang magtiwala
Ang galing lang ng
sarili mo.
camera kasi nag-zoom in doon. Yun
Oo.
yun eh.
Oo.
Kasi na-capture niya yun.
Oo, pero hindi mo siya pwedeng planuhin. Kasi
Totoo.
oras na pinlano mo, mababasa sa mata mo na nape-preempt mo yung gagawin mo doon sa
Totoo yun.
eksena.
Totoo yun. So, maganda yun, no? Parang yung point na mas less conscious about your acting, nagpaparaya ka, that you trust the people there, lalabas na lang yung natural. So that's how you approach the role.
Yeah.
Elijah, ikaw, how did you know you hit the spot? You hit the right vibes?
I didn't hit the right vibes. Parang,
Talaga?
baliktad ako nun eh. Ako yung nag-prepare ng sobra. Ako yung...
Sandali, I want to see that because we came as if you were camera ready. You were, parang alam ng camera yung angulo mo.
Yeah, I mean to the point na parang...
You are
kailan
beautifully
ako-
photographed here.
Thank you, Sir Neil Dada.
Oo, di ba
Thank
nakita
you,
mo yung ano?
Neil.
Ganda ng mga shots.
Oo.
shots, yeah.
Tapos, iba eh. Parang pag tumingin ka sa camera, ay, nakuha niya yun, oh. Ay, alam niya kung kailan siya manginginig. At saka yung isang luha lang niya, oh. That moment.
That was directed by Direk June. He asked me, tinabi niya ako one time, pwede dito mo itulo yung luha mo. Sabi ko, paano yun? Pero sige. Paano yun? Like dito sa line na to? Sige, try natin. Nagawa naman.
Interesting enough, that's something that Lino Broca does.
Yes,
Diba?
yes,
So-
yes. So, kaya pala ng technique, pero ito yung sana makita ng mga tao, hindi ganun kadali kasi you had to memorize lines.
Yeah.
Hindi ito yung tipong outline ng ibibigay, bahala na kayo sa linya.
Hindi eh.
So,
Diba?
you had to
Parang-
stick to the script. You had to respect the script down to every word, down to every term. Sobrang lalim niya. Nung English, malalim yung English.
Hindi,
Yeah.
Tsaka kunyari, di ba, ang conversational English, hindi naman siya grammatically correct all the
That's
time.
true, that's true.
So, maraming instances din doon na ikakata ko ni Direk.
Tinamak kayo.
Tapos itatama niya yung sinabi ko.
Tama
Mali
naman.
yung arrangement, sasabihin niya. Or mali
Yes.
yung adverb, or
At least,
mali yung
no?
ganito.
Memorize
least.
niya kasi yung script. So, he
sa
hears
kanya
it na hindi yan yung sinulat ko. He knows. So, he would correct you on the spot.
Hindi nakakawala ng concentration na nandun na yung moment nyo tapos pero okay.
I think part naman ng training as an actor na not to get rattled in those moments.
At lalo na kasi alam mong personal yung material.
Yes, you had to respect it talaga.
Now back to that question, when did you know parang you're hitting the point or not hitting the point?
There was this monologue in the movie where my character was talking about his childhood trauma.
Yeah.
And after a take, Direk Jun told me na
Huwag masyado madrama.
masyado ka nag-prepare. That's what he told me. Masyadong nakakanto yung units mo. Mahalata na, okay, you're going
Ganda.
here,
Can you
you're
spell it
going
out to the
here.
audience? Ano yung kanto? Yung
And,
tipong alam mong...
Yeah, like parang you're going from one emotion to the
That's
next.
true,
And
that's
they can
true.
see that. So, I was kind of like, alright. Tapos biglang binigla niya ako na he didn't give me time to prepare na for the next take. Na okay, take na tayo. 3, 2, 1. Ganun. Parang okay.
Better.
Tas, naging better bigla kasi nandun siguro yung panic. Tapos nandun din yung, okay, I have to change it but whatever, I'll just go with the flow.
Ang
So, yun yung process niya sa akin. Tapos when I did that, okay na siya bigla with everything after that. That was by the first quarter of the movie kasi.
Ang galing.
So,
Ang
nung
galing.
nangyari na yun, okay, I just have to relax, not stick to my preparation too much.
Lessons that people have to learn from it. Number one, you can't over-prepare, no?
Yep.
Parang let it just flow. The second, kailangan mo maghanda. Kailangan kahanda sa lines mo. Pero, don't try manipulating emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kasi you just make it flow. I asked Elijah kanina, good that this film was shot in sequence.
Technically,
Actually,
yung
technically,
flashback
except for
lang
the
yung
flashback.
hindi.
More or less,
Yeah.
more or less in
Di ba?
sequence.
Parang it helped na, okay, it helped you in your units, in the emotions, at least na piece. But, question, yung energy ng bawat isa, well, you feed on each other's energy there. Was there ever a point na tipong, okay, I wish I've given more so that he be able to get more from you? May ganong mga days. Or, of course, it's not always a perfect day. No? Pero, nung nakuha nyo yung drive ng bawat isa, tell us about the dynamics of the relationship. Kasi ito po, wala talaga silang physical contact at all. Pero nandun yung relasyon. Palpable yung relationship. Palpable yung pagmamahal nila at and eventually, palpable yung galit dun sa dulo, no? So, yung manipulation sa dulo. So,
Ako, if I may, I'll go first.
Go.
I just wanna say na parang thank you talaga to Kuya Nick because ever since the first day, rehearsals pa lang, he was open to me na fully, and ramdam ko na he was giving everything. He was giving his best. Every single take, every single time. Ramdam kasi sa eye contact, nandun sa eye contact, everything, dahil nga wala kaming physical contact and everything. And also, marami siyang choices na hindi ko in-expect. Because I read the script several times. So, hindi ko in-expect
Like what? Ay, gusto kong abangan ng mga tao. Ano yung choices na parang iba?
So, the
Yung
way he
bigla ka
reads
na-
things, the way he delivers the lines,
Ako yung
definitely.
first 1/3, give it to him. Ibang klase yung binigay niya. So, yung biglang mapapayak ka na lang na tipong, grabe siya, nakakaawa siyang major. Yun, you felt that there.
I felt that. Never had to question anything. And even kapag may mga shots kasi na close-up, yung mga close-up, the camera's in front of you. So, tatabi nila yung table, tatabi nila yung chair. Wala yung actor sa harap mo. Yung eyeline mo is different. You're facing something else. You're looking at something else. But Kuya Nick was always there to support me. Mahabang mga chunks of lines yun. But he was just there. Wala siyang, di naman siya nakikita. And he would give his full performance talaga. So, hindi niya ako tinipid ever.
Why? Why did you have to give that?
It's important eh. I have...
At hindi ka conscious talaga, no?
Hindi.
Ako, hindi talaga. Kasi parang, you had this mark there, it's there, so use it. Di ba parang ganun?
Yeah. I guess I was blessed that I was able to work with so many great veterans
That's
since
true.
I was young.
That's true.
And I've seen how generous they were during work.
That's true.
Na katulad nun, hindi kita sa eksena. Pero they stay there, they throw their own lines, they give you their acting, and they make you feel like it's still part of the entire scene.
At titignan mo lang siya, just a gaze at him and then,
Oh.
Talaga?
At saka may mga katrabaho din ako na, alam mo yun, yung pagka madaling araw na pagod na kayo lahat, tapos
Yes.
biglang may breakdown scene yung isa.
totoo.
Iiwanan mo ba yun? Siyempre hindi. And sometimes what they need is just to hold hands, stare at you, and then they'll be able to take off from that.
Ganun, that's what
So you just have to be there.
In the industry, di ba? Yung totoong artista lumalabas after 12. Yung tipong pag
Pag pagod ka
humahalimaw na. Yeah.
Pagod ka
pagbaba.
na,
Yeah.
pag wala ka nang ibibigay, di ba? Mas raw.
And this one, you were filming. Ito pa, another context. You were filming during the pandemic. Meron pang pandemya noon. So
every day
may protocol pa.
Every day may swab kami. We change masks twice, 3 times a day. In between takes, magmamask kaming lahat. Mahigpit pa during that time. Walang tao sa BGC. Except for one day na nagulat kaming lahat, may malakas
Last day natin.
Last day ba yan? Nagulat kaming lahat, may malakas na tugtugan. So lumabas kami ng restaurant. Pagtingin namin, may isang party doon na walang nakamas, nagiinuman sila. Tapos sabi namin,
my God.
na-transport ba tayo sa 1986? Ba't sila may party?
I wanted to ask that. This was what? During, pandemic yung
2 years
diba?
ago.
So, kasi I was trying to make sense of Let the Pain Remain at the start. Na tipo, okay, sige, it's a theme song, pero are we transported to a different time? But it was a new artist naman who sang it at least. No? So, yun. Next, process lang, how did you internalize? How did you did you have to ask people kung ang peg mo yung sa Miguel Michel, yung mga To All the Girls I've Loved Before, dito,
And yung nanay ko.
at yung nanay mo, dito sino? Maliban kay June. Kanino ka humugot? Kay Omar?
I have a lot of friends from the community.
Yeah.
You know, I have
And your mentors are.
my mentors are
Yeah.
all from the community.
O sa UP din to, napapanood ko po siya sa UP, yun, sa mga theater projects. So yun.
Di ba? It wasn't so much as their personality that I was pegging into. Parang ang sabi ko lang,
How will they feel?
paano yung pakiramdam nila all these years with all the bigotry, all the hate,
That's
and then
true. That's
all
true.
the love they have to give to
That's
others.
true.
And
That's true.
ako personally, I find that very painful.
So, national artist ba to, Tony Mabesa? Yung mga tipong ganun, di ba? Oo, di ba?
Yeah, he's part of that, and a lot of other friends na parang some of them are out, some of them are coming out, some of them are afraid to come out, and at the same time, alam ko, let me share this. I have this friend, he used to work for Kuya Ike Losada. He's gone now.
Ni Romnick ganyan, no?
He used to get me for provincial shows, ganyan. And he's a much older guy. At that time that I was 20-something, mga late 20s ko, parang mga 60-something na siya.
Okay.
So one time he came from Bulacan, visited me, tapos we spent a few hours together. Tapos sabi ko, hatid na kita sa sakayan. Sabi kong ganyan.
Hindi na conscious, alam mong mahal ka niya.
Oo, mabait siya
Di
talaga
ba?
sa
May
akin.
ganon,
You know?
di ba?
And he's such a nice guy. Tapos, he visited me and my family. I had a family at that time already. Tapos sabi niya, pwede ba tayong dumaan dito lang sa may tabi ng St. Joseph? So sabi ko, sige. So dumaan kami. And then there's this guy with his wife who was just so happy to see him. They hugged him, ganyan. And then I saw him hand them a few bills. Tapos parang umaayaw sila pareho. And to make the long story short, when we were leaving na, sabi ko, sino yun? Sabi ko, kasi hindi ko kilala. Tapos sabi niya, ex-boyfriend ko, sabi niya. Sabi ko, tapos misis niya. Sabi ko, alam nung misis. Sabi niya, oo, ako nagsabi sa kanilang magpakasal na sila. And I just saw how much they loved him and appreciated him. And I suddenly wished all of my friends from the community had that.
Ganon, yes.
Diba?
Yes.
Kasi it's so beautiful eh.
Yes.
Nakita ko yung respeto sa kanya. Sabi ko, ilan lang yung swerte na ganon.
That's true.
And looking at that, basing it solely on relationship and struggles, parang feeling ko mas nakilala ko si Erickson.
Galing. Pero ito, yung power relations kasi dito iba. Di ba? Kasi if it were amongst peers, parang okay, kukunin na yan, parang BL na yan. Pero iba to may power relations, teacher-student.
I would liken that, I teach in college now.
Yes.
Sa
Talaga
Trinity.
saan?
Sa Trinity.
Maganda yan. Kanina yun yung pinag-usapan. You miss school.
I do. I miss studying. And I enjoy...
Balikan natin na mamayang talk.
being
Kanina yun yung
able to,
warm-up talk namin, Elijah. Nakakamiss, di ba?
Nakakamiss mag-aral. Yung may
Totoo
matutunan
yun.
ka, yung banter between students.
And we
diba?
never stop learning. Yun naman yung doon. Parang
totoo yan.
at tayo being based in school, I guess yun yung dadalhin natin sa industriya natin. Yung tipong the disiplina. At saka yun, ibang hindi ka lang, sabi namin kanina, hindi ka lang magsaset ng meeting para pag-usapan yung dapat mong inuna sa meeting. Yung meron talagang dahilan kung bakit kayo nagmi-meet.
Totoo.
Kasi yun yung mga agreed time, at yun. What that you stand for, may dinadagdag kang pareho, di ba, pag nagtuturo, may dinagdag kang bagong kaalaman at bagong nararamdaman. Kung wala yun, huwag mo nang gawin.
Correct.
Parang pag nag-post ka dyan, kung wala ka rin lang bagong sasabihin or wala kang bagong ipaparamdam sa mga tao.
Isulat mo na lang sa module.
Correct.
Correct. Bigyan mo na lang homework.
Correct. So, talk about the power relations. This is different. Kasi kung peers kayo, parang BL na yan. So, that pwede, may ibang audience yan. Pero ito kasi yun, no?
Pero dito, I wanted to include my feelings as a father.
Oh,
Kasi-
that's another dimension.
Kasi isa yun sa mga bagay na nararamdaman ko pag nagtuturo ako sa college eh. It's one of the ways I keep myself centered while teaching. Mga anak ko to. Yun yung tingin ko sa mga estudyante ko. That I have a responsibility to help them through.
Oh, that's another dimension. So, hindi ako prepared doon, pero did you see Elijah's role as that too?
I want, at first, that's what I wanted to come out. Na parang, no, I really
Pero
care.
napaka-incestuous naman, nun, if ever.
Hindi kasi I wanted that unit where
Ang galing,
you don't see it in the first
Kasi
part.
napaka-selfless nga ng fatherly love, no?
'Di ba? You don't see it in the first part. Makikita mo lang siya dun sa part na may hook, line, and sinker.
Ang galing mo. Kasi parang hindi ko pinaghandaan yun. Na tipong, oo nga, no, because of that paradigm na kung father nga, mas wagas, mas wala kang kabig.
Oy.
Kasi dito in the whole power play,
Kasi gusto ko siyang
kaya ako naawa sa character mo kasi ikaw yung walang kabig.
Kasi gusto ko siyang kunin from the fact na nung nag-uusap kami ng partner ko, I said, wala akong interest. Ikaw yung mahal ko.
Aray ko, totoo naman yan.
So I wanted that to be honest for Erickson. And then, pag turn niya, may dahilan para mag-turn siya. Pero hindi yun yung initial. And then, ay pwede pala. Yung ganun. Para maramdaman mo yung biyahe niya from the moment he got into the restaurant at saka yung difference nun pag-alis niya ulit.
Ang galing. Kasi, Noel, that's another insight now. So, you stick to being just platonic with this character?
For the first half. Until you see that interest nung nalaman niyang, ay, he swings that way.
Yeah.
And when your partner also had something to do with it. No?
Oo, na parang, teka, niloloko niyo rin pala ako. Ang dami niyang tinago sa akin. Di ba?
Pero hindi mo minanifest. Pinigil mo yon.
Yeah. Because, parang iniisip ko lang for that character at that moment, pag bigla siya nagbumigay, huli siya nung bata.
Correct. Parang patibong yun. Oo,
diba?
Parang na-frame up ka nung taong yun.
Oo.
Okay. And it's set with literature. It's set with the school structure and the school politics. Ang galing lang. Kasi I say nga, for a very personal story, to have messages across different institutions. Number one, family. Grabe. From what you've experienced in your family. And kasi, your unit with your lover is a family too. No?
Yes.
So parang grabe rin yung pinagdaanan. So it gives comments on the modern day family. So matapang yun doon. Pangalawa, it gave a comment on religion.
It did.
Na major. So abangan din ng mga tao yan. It also made comments on school.
Yeah.
Now that we're in that atmosphere and that this playground that we are in, control was there. How important was that control, your control over him or your control over him? That is the whole power relations.
Ang ganda nung exchange kasi. I think it's important na lumabas pareho yon from their perspective that they are in control.
Nung ginagawa nyo, again, babalik ako dun sa process, nung ginagawa niya, hindi niya na naramdaman? Or nung napanood nyo na lang, ganun pala yun?
No, naramdaman. Kasi it was very intentional. His character, di ba, may part na parang you're just playing each other.
That's true.
Kala mo you're playing him, pero he's also playing you.
That's
It's
true.
something like that.
That's
So it's
true.
really a game of cat and mouse.
And when you became scheming at the last part,
Yun.
Yun
And
na yun.
the different ways. And in acting, in your script, you basically have a super objective. So
That's true.
what
That's
your character wants by the end of the
That's
movie. And he will do everything to get to that super objective and do other objectives to get to that. Parang ganun.
That's true.
So parang
That's true.
yung-
That was explained to you or kayo na yon?
kami na po yun, I think. You know,
Yeah.
it's our assignment as actors na to prepare on that. Na parang, okay, this is my super objective. How will I get there? I can seduce him. I can flirt with him. I can gaslight him. Yung mga ganong klaseng mga objectives
So
na pwede.
those options are open to you? Bahala kayo mag-interpret or sinabihan kayo na, okay,
Bahala
ito.
kami mag-interpret.
Galing.
Yeah.
Kasi ano naman,
Ang galing.
Direct June would step in when he feels like we're doing something
Over na.
far from what he'd expect. Pero for as long as we fall within those boundaries, okay lang siya. Sabihin niyang bawas or sasabihin niyang
Yep.
dagdag ng konti dito kasi maganda yung unit.
Oh, yeah. He
Ganun
was
lang,
like that.
diba? Pero hindi siya yung tipong,
Huwag niyong gawin yan.
hindi siya yung utur masyado na, ito
Yeah,
lang
yeah.
yung linya niyo ha, hindi kayo pwede mag-delineate.
Okay. And more of, ito lang yung, well, okay yung markers kasi doon lang naman kayo talaga. Yung camera niyo doon lang naman talaga.
I think he just explained to us, ganito yung character, read tayo. That was yung live reading on set. So para maramdaman mo din yung ambience, di ba? And then parang maiisip mo rin, ang lungkot nito after so many years.
Sobra,
Because that's something that we all went through. Hindi tayo nakakalabas pare-pareho, di ba?
Sobra.
So, alam mo na kagad na mabigat na yung instance, yung setting pala.
Sobra.
Pagdating mo doon, ang lungkot nito. Ang saya pero ang lungkot nito. Yung ganun.
At saan natin din lang yung lungkot, number one. I want to ask also, ano yung redemption ng characters? Kasi in the end, parang, uy, saan sila nagpunta? Ano yung susunod na hakbang? At yung pangatlo nating try sagutin, gaano kayo kaiba or kapareho dun sa mga characters inyo? Kasi, yun nga, may director kayo na magsasabing, ako yan. Pero, of course, you would identify with certain things and you would negate certain things.
Yeah.
So, we'll just pause for a halftime break while people are like giving me signals now that, hindi natin namalayan. Well, we'll be back with this master class in a while with Elijah Canlas and the Romnick Sarmenta here on Level Up.
Takalin, tinanaw mo na gawin mo na. Lakas ng kalooban, lakas ng katawan. Wala kang uurungan pag yumanan dumaan. Sarili pagbutihin, maging isip at damdamin. Lahat sila'y ayain ng mag-level up na.
Hey, Katipuneros, don't change that dial because we'll be coming right back. You're listening to the voice of the Blue East. The voice of the Blue East. Radyo Katipunan, 87.9.
If it's entertainment you crave, catch us on New Wave. Surfing through the latest on our shores. New Wave. Every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. New Wave. See you there.
Lamig, init, ulan, hangin, kumakalingang kalikasan. Ating alagaan at ingatan. Kumusta na ang ating kalikasan? Pag-usapan natin ang kalagayan ng mundo at kung paano tayo makatutulong sa pagkalinga sa ating tahanan. Kasama sina Father J.M. Manzano ng Kapisanan ni Jesus at si Dr. Abercio V. Miroton. Ito ang Tatak Kalikasan sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Baka naman pwede.
Baka naman pwede.
Baka naman pwede.
Mga isyung napapanahon, ating pag-usapan. Baka naman pwede gamit ang mga pananaw mula sa iba't ibang kalinangan.
Baka naman pwede.
Mula sa Institute of Philippine Culture, kami inyong samahan, tayo'y maghuntahan. Dito lang sa Baka Naman Pwede. Tuwing Huwebes, alas 3 ng hapon, dito lang sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Palalimin ang kamalayan sa mga isyong napapanahon. Makisangkot at makiisa kasama ang simbahang lingkod ng bayan. Ang Socio-Political Apostolate ng Kapisanan ni Jesus. Ito ang Kwentuhang Bayan mula alas 11 ng umaga tuwing Biyernes dito lang sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Dahil naniniwala kami na posible ang isang mas mabuting lipunan at maaari itong simulan sa isang kwentuhan. Tara na't simulan ang inyong umaga sa mga magagandang refleksyon tungkol sa ating buhay at pananampalataya. Kasama sina Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, Father J. Boy Gonzales at Father Nono Alfonso ng Kapisanan ni Jesus, Father Cali Llamado ng Manila Cathedral, at Binibining Risa Singson Kaupeng ng Light of Jesus Community dito sa Kapit Pandasal sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Magbati po mga Katipuneros, this is Cardinal Chito Tagle. Join me every week on the Word Exposed on Air, here on the Voice of the Blue Eagle, Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM, the Ateneo Campus Radio.
The Voice of the Blue Eagle, Radyo Katipunan 87.9.
And there was another drive-by shooting
Do you sometimes feel confused or lost in the complications and complexities of life? Do you feel drained, listless, or exhausted from the daily burdens and responsibilities? Why not seek our campus ministers on air every Tuesday from 2 to 3 in the afternoon? Listen to our counselors from the Loyola School's Campus Ministry Office as they ground our lives in our faith, in our school's spiritual tradition. Campus Ministers on Air. Be guided, be inspired, be blessed. Listen to our Campus Ministers on Air.
JustCom Music Ministry. Music that uplifts the soul. Follow JustCom PH on Spotify and JustCom Music on YouTube. We are also on iTunes and Deezer.
Sabi nila, life is like a cup of coffee. Pwedeng sweet at puno ng flavor, pero madalas matapang and will hit you hard. But in the end, you enjoy it depending on how you make or take it. So choose your own brew. Take a break and savor life in its rich aroma. Samahan nyo kami, dahil a cup of life is best enjoyed with friends. Welcome to the Parable Cafe. Brewing inspiration, one cup of story at a time. Every Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. only on Radio Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Akong bahala sa iyo, kaibigan ko.
Rejoice, refresh, renew, and reflect. Join us for an hour of music that uplifts the soul. Listen to your favorite Jesuit music ministry artists. This is JMM Radio. JMM Radio. Get your day's dose of inspirational music. Tune in to JMM Radio every Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. Only here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Radyo Katipunan is now online. See our live feed on facebook.com/Radyo Katipunan. Check out our Instagram and our Twitter at Radyo Katipunan and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Radyo Katipunan FM for more exclusive content.
Philippine Standard Time, 4:14 p.m.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan. Sa Blue Eagle kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay at tenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero, sugod, todo sa kayon, dunong at tulong. ulo Lipat na Blue Eagle Kalingiting nagigil Blue and white One big fight Radyo Katipunan Radyo Katipunan
Mamangha sa lalim at ganda ng ating kultura at tiwang makabayan, sa mga salita at pahina, sa tulong ng mga guro at manunulat ng panitikang Pilipino. Halina't tuklasin ang yaman ng ating panitikan, ang pamana ng ating lahi. Kasama si Binibining Andrea Trinidad, Ginoong Jethro Tenorio at Ginoong Yol Hamendang ng Kagawaran ng Filipino ng Pamantasang Ateneo de Manila. Ito ang Sari-Sari, ang Catholic Mass Media Awards Special Citation Awardee para sa pinakamagaling na palatuntunang pang-edukasyon sa radyo. Dito sa Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM. Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle.
Kahit basura. It's so painful.
True.
Pero that's painful. Parang sa akin, kailangan bang gano'n?
Yeah, true. And sabi nga, when everything else is gone, ang mananatili yun ng art. But the thing is the ethical part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if the last part yung...
Okay. We're on
yan
with
na
the
pala.
second
No spoilers,
part.
no
Mas maganda,
spoilers.
parang kami lahat natututo dito sa exchange. So then, it's one whole class, teacher, and would-be student again. Let's go through student life. Kasi yun siguro yung orientation at kaibahan dito. No? When were you happiest about school?
When I was in UP.
Talaga, why?
When I was in UP, I think wala na yung high school drama.
Okay,
Nung high school
correct,
kasi ang
correct.
daming may drama,
Correct.
mga tao.
Evil of emotions, di ba?
Madami, like feeling
Yeah,
nila
yeah,
umiikot yung
yeah,
world
yeah.
sa kanila. Tapos
Yes,
when
yes,
college,
yes.
everything was just matter of fact. You know, you have to get to your next class.
And you're all equal.
Yeah, we're all equal. We're all scholars dun sa
Yeah.
UP. So, ganun. And na-enjoy ko yung...
And it's so humbling na.
Yeah, very. Actually, pasok ko sa UP, naka-shorts, naka-chinelas lang ako.
Pero alam mo, sabi namin kanina bago ka dumating, alam mo na freshman yan, kung flashy yung outfit,
Yeah.
yung maingay sa pagpasok ko, yun eh. Pero yun, what do you miss about it? Yun, the happy moments. Ano yung pinsan ka pinakamasaya?
Let me state then my biggest regret in school.
What?
I was not ever really able to build a good group of friends.
Talaga?
Kasi palagi akong in and out eh. Papasok ako because I have to make the class.
Yep.
And then I have to leave because I have to go to work.
Pareho rin naman sa kanya. Pero,
diba?
totoo yan. Pero,
Naiingit ako doon sa mga kaibigan ko na merong high school reunion, college reunion. Nakakatuwa din kasi. You know, but to give credit to my classmates from Angelicum, yung mga grade school classmates ko, you know, to this day, they have good words to say.
Totoo yan.
Nangangamusta.
Hindi, tsaka sila yung
They share.
walang... Sabi ko nga sinong advice yung pinaniniwalaan mo sa buhay natin yung walang kaabig? Yung walang interes. At kasi sa industriya natin, parang may interes yung ganun. Gusto nilang tanggapin yung project dahil ganun, sikat sila. O hindi competition. Yun yung tingin eh. Pero sa school, when you talk to classmates and all, it's just for the good of you.
Tsaka they care about you because they know you since you were kids. Usually ganun
Totoo
eh.
yun, nung wala pa kayo. Nung wala pa kayo. Okay, game. He talked about the most competitive part because he's really competitive in school. Ano ikaw?
I'm not.
You're not. Hindi ka athlete.
Hindi. I think I'm a
That's
very...
an athlete in him eh.
Ako napaka-stoic ko kasi.
Talaga?
Oo. Yung parang...
Kaya pinapursue ka din, no? Yung mga tao sa industriya, ganyan yung tingin sa'yo kasi yun, feeling you keep to yourself.
I do. I welcome friends.
Okay.
Pero I don't go out of my way to make them. Parang
Okay.
Parang yung
That's a
sa
good
akin,
point. That's a good
pagka nakita ko na okay pala talaga tong taon to. I take care of that friendship.
Saan ka pinaka natakot in your existence in school? Did you fear failing?
Yes.
Ay,
Because my parents were very strict about that. They had high standards when it came to our studies. Pero when I was working na, they were very lax. Na,
Okay. And failure meant what? Not meeting a grade requirement
you
set by your parents or by the school?
By the school, because
The
I've been a
school
scholar
mismo.
since I was high school.
Okay.
So
On
kailangan
the
may
verge of
may
like
grade.
losing it?
Yeah, you can get kicked out if your grade is lower than 91 sa Makiling before sa Los Baños. So,
Okay.
if your grade is lower than 91, you can get kicked out talaga.
So maaga ka na doon sa failure na hindi dapat.
Yeah.
Ikaw?
Ako, basta makapasa, okay na.
Okay. At ganyan ka rin sa mga anak mo.
Oo, sa akin.
Relax ka. Parang they have to enjoy school.
They have to take it at their own pace. Hindi kasi ako naniniwala na pare-pareho dapat ang
Okay.
benchmark for all students.
That's nice. Saddest part in school?
Saddest part in school.
That you're not able to do it, that you had to leave?
Or I had to, yeah,
The
basically.
LOA mo.
Yeah. And, I guess, mga mas friendships, ganyan. Pag may misunderstanding because I was working na nga, ganyan. They would misunderstand a lot of things.
Yeah.
And, wow. Hindi kasi, yesterday, basta, sige, never
May
mind.
mga
Yeah.
Pero may mga functions kung minsan, di ba, na hindi mo na at iba yung pulot ng mga tao. Ikaw?
Wala akong na-attendang mga JS prom, mga ganyan.
talaga?
Oh, hindi ako pwede. Tapos,
The rituals, no?
I regret na I didn't finish architecture in UST.
Okay.
Kasi nag-LOA ako ng third year. Tapos di
Pero
na ako
nag-graduate
nakabalik.
ka naman.
Hindi ko natapos architecture.
You know, graduations are really for parents. Not
It's
for
true.
you.
It's
Yun
true.
talaga parang ang hirap na nga. Hirap, ang init-init, nakatoga ka and all.
everything.
Pero, di ba?
No, I wasn't able to give that to my mom. That's one of those regrets. But I think the saddest is, to me, not being able to do that.
Talaga. But you still, look forward to, doing it?
I'm thinking of applying for kahit an online course to finish college.
Yun yung gagawin. When do you feel most loved?
In school?
In this.
You
Kasi
know,
pag sinabi ko, yung personal, maraming question.
Dami. In school, it happened in UST also.
Yeah.
Kasi, nung pumasok ako, kataasan pa ng Dance Entertainment. So, I was getting bullied by some of the other colleges.
Talaga? Ganun yung reaction?
Tapos,
And they owned you?
Our former dean, dun sa architecture, si Dean Reyes, invited me for parang foundation night.
Okay.
Sabi niya, maybe you can share one song or two. And, I'm from the school, so I'd say yes. Diba? And then they asked me, how much do you have to pay? Sabi ko, wala. I study here. And, you give me that much, so I'll give you that much.
Yeah.
When I sang, I got booed.
Talaga?
Oo, sa school ko. Tapos, tumayo yung dean from the audience and then she goes up on
Pinagtanggol
stage
ka.
and then she says, I am so embarrassed about you.
Ang galing.
And then she just stood up for me. And I thought that was the sweetest thing anyone has ever done.
Ma'am Reyes, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for that.
Sobrang bait nung dean namin.
Baliktad, kasi nung nag-Ateneo si Lea Salonga, at That's Entertainment siya noon, kasagsagan, okay.
Oo
May
mga
reaction eh.
I think it's the culture of the students more than the culture of the
Yeah,
school. Diba?
they're being read by the reality,
Yeah.
no?
So,
More than ikaw.
I think that was the sweetest thing anyone has ever done.
Galing. Most loved moment. Kailan mo naramdaman, okay to.
Siguro sa UP Manila.
Ito yung roots.
Nung UP Manila kasi in-expect ko since it's UP, they'd be strict about my schedule and ganyan. If I'm malilate or ma-absent
Galing,
ako,
no? And
baka
then,
hindi.
hindi sa sinasacrifice, pero tutulungan ka kung paano to work it out.
Kasi back in high school, they were very
They're very
strict.
considerate, no?
That's true.
Nung high school, ayaw nila. Like, you shouldn't be doing TV work, you shouldn't be doing film work kasi you're a
Yun yung
scholar.
inaano natin ngayon, parang rules should be there to make things work.
Yep.
Not to hinder people's growth. Yun yata yun yung rule. Yun yung kagandahan kagandahan sa mga bagay. So inayos.
Inayos, and they were very considerate nga, and also
Napapasok ka lang
even my
PTH.
own profs would tell me that they're proud of me. And UP
that's
Manila, like kapag may napanalunan akong award or may film ako, they would share
That's
my
good.
project. So I love UP. I love UP.
And we love that too. And we love UST too. And parang, well, maganda yun, a firm resolve that eventually you'd try, you'd want to go back to finishing school.
Yeah.
Because yun din talaga. Anyway, back to your characters in About Us But Not About Us. Now we go to yung pagtatalaban ng character at saka yung buhay ninyo mismo. Delikado yung statement on relationships. Na so, what did and how did the film challenge your view on relationships?
Ay, naku.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
No, meron dapat binigyan ako ng lie detector test, pero or sabi niya massager, wag na lang yata. Okay lang naman yan, pero yun, nice to get insight. So, yung paano ba ito sasabihin? Yun nga, parang ano yung realization on relationships na tipong, nung press con, nung sinabi mo yung mga bagay na sana ginawa ko at hindi ko nagawa, parang, tinatanong mo ngayon after portraying this role.
Di ba? I saw the film in its entirety for the first time, and I was watching it, and
Great film.
I was watching it as an audience, not at all concerned kung ano yung ginawa ko, kung ano yung ginawa niya. I wasn't
Not
trying...
even anong sasabihin ng mga tao, di ba?
Yeah.
Wala.
Yeah,
yun.
I just
Okay.
wanted to
Okay.
digest it as an audience.
Correct.
And I wanted to learn from these two characters.
Mm-hmm.
Pwede mong palitan yung artista, I would still watch it. Alam mo yan? I mean,
pero iba yung nagawa niya sa pelikula. Sorry, I'm biased because I've
Salamat.
seen both of you there. At saka it had to be two theater actors there. Kasi nag-memorize kayo ng dialogues. Alam, at daya ba yun? Kinakat? Hindi. Or diretso rin?
I mean, nung
Ginagawa namin
nag-rehearsal
ng
kami,
buo,
diretso Buo.
Ginagawa namin ng buo lahat ng
disiplina
eksena.
talaga yun. Dapat malaman ng tao gaano kahirap yun yung ginawa. Kasi kala nila, dalawa lang na nagbibigayan lang ng mga dialogues pero mahirap gawin. So, back to your relationships. Ano yung na-question? Or ano yung realizations, stark realizations about your relationships?
Ang dami kasing linya doon sa pelikula na may echo sa utak ko. Yung
Like what,
nadinig
Nick?
ko na.
Like what, Nick?
Or,
Now you have the benefit of wisdom.
Oo.
Kasi ang dami ng
Oo.
pinagdaanan So,
oo. Tapos
at grabe yung mga decisions sa buhay ha. I have to say.
Oo.
Grabe ha.
And when you decide about relationships, there's always a point in time. It stretches from between a few hours to a few years.
That's true.
'Di ba? Na parang you're questioning yourself kung tama ba yung decision na 'yan.
Sinabi mo yan sa press con. Oo.
'Di ba? Tama ba 'yun? Could I have done better? Could I have done it another way? And you don't really know until you know.
Ito, I have to. You were, in your character, ayaw mong pakawalan yung anong meron kayo because
Oo.
you were so protective and you gave your word na alagaan kita hanggang sa dulo. Are you like that in person?
Oo eh. Oo eh.
Oo.
I relate to that so much because I have, I grow tired of growing new relationships. Ang sa akin parang...
Ganda nun. Totoo naman.
Di ba?
Whenever you start another one, it's another period of adjustment, another period
Papakilala
of...
ka, kikilalanin mo, tapos ang dami mo na naman panibagong compromise na hindi mo ginawa before kasi magkaibang tao sila. Di ba?
Alposhit sorry.
Yeah.
At nagkikita tayo sa mga wakes, sa mga...
Di ba?
sa mga ganong mga events. At maraming deaths and life and ako nasaksihan na Can you honestly say you've done everything to make your relationships work?
At one point, you will say yes. And at another point, you will say, I
Sana
missed out
pwede
on
pa.
this. No, because after a few relationships, kunyari sabihin natin, you go through, I'm not saying you should go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ba?
Hindi naman.
Pero you're a number 4, you realize at number 4 na merong similarity dun sa number 1. And you wish you would have handled it better. Not because you want to go back to number 1,
That's true.
but
That's
because you wanted to be the better person.
That's true.
Not to be the better person than the other, just better for yourself. So, ang
each
dami.
relationship, you have to be better than the previous. At least that one.
Yung masabi mo sa sarili mo, I like what I learned from a friend. Sabi niya, people will see you however they want to see you.
That's true.
And what's important is, how do you see yourself?
That's true.
Diba? And
that's also the in the movie, no?
And what's important is, kung yung nai-imagine mo bang sarili mo, yun yung tinatrabaho mo maging.
Totoo naman.
Diba?
Totoo naman. And also, yung salvation mo is thinking that you are where you're supposed to be.
Oo.
At least at this point, parang,
Oo.
and do well there.
At saka parang, it's gone beyond me. I can't do anything about
That's
it.
true.
And if
That's
if
true.
I dwell on that, I will be sorry for the rest of my life.
That's true.
So I'll handle today. Baka bukas hindi ako magising eh. I'll handle today
Grabe
first.
yung
Diba?
ganong choices. Totoo naman. Well, I've always the next week, we're talking to Gerald Anderson and Kaini Padilla. And yun nga, parang the reality of death. Kasi yun namang entry nila, assisted death na accepted daw sa Europe. Yun, parang, pero ang learning talaga sa atin, you cannot love fully, you cannot embrace the reality of love until you've accepted the reality of death.
That's
Dapat
true.
tanggap mo yun, dapat yun na yung ending kasama. You've handled it well, ah.
Thank you. I have a number of friends who were really helpful. Yan, sila Omar, sila Derek, si Chris Villanueva, They're some of the very few people. There's also a few friends off of the business. Sila Oliver, sila Apa, sila
Ayun
Dino.
yun, di ba? It's the rootedness. It's really those people who can give you the big picture.
Yeah.
Kasi pag you're too much into that picture, mahirap.
Mahirap lumabas. And then I did the worst thing I could possibly do to myself. I
Which is?
started reading comments. Diba? And
Yun,
Dark
oo
place.
nga.
and I admitted that to them.
Nanagot ka?
Hindi ako sumagot. I
Okay.
wanted-
Knowing you hindi magagawin.
Hindi. Parang, it's a waste of my
Yeah,
time.
that's true.
Sorry.
That's true.
Pero yung sa
That's
akin,
true.
I wanted to see how people saw the situation.
That's true.
And it ran the gamut from one that's very, parang, nangangapa, na baka naman kasi ganito, baka naman kasi, and one that's totally like, way out there. Tapos sabi ko lang sa sarili ko, you know what? People are gonna say what they're going to say.
That's true. That's
What's
true.
important is, and one thing I realized is that when you're going through something like that, there's always 3 sides to the truth. Hindi dalawa eh.
Oh, okay.
Tatlo.
That's a learning again.
Yung sayo, yung katotohanan mo kung paano mo siya nakita. Yung sa kanya, na katotohanan ng kung paano niya nakita. At yung sa Diyos, yung katotohanan ng buong pangyayari at paano niya
Naman,
nakita.
The big picture there.
And a lot of times, my truth will not come to 1/3 of his truth. So, okay na ako dito.
Sige. Doon na lang tayo. Doon
Diba?
sa kung ano, sa tingin mo na
Oo.
mas nakakabuo, makakabuti.
And if you will be generous enough to show me kung ano yung hindi ko nakita, I would love to learn from it.
But the more generous side is really placing yourself in the position of the other.
True.
Nagganon ka ba?
Which I learned after about 2 years.
Talaga.
After about 2 years into it, I found this
Di ba
wonderful...
ganun yung exercise sa atin na, bago ka kumilos, isipin mo muna ano yung isipin nung kapartner mo.
Ito, found this wonderful person who just asked me, so why do you think she said that?
Yun eh.
And then I started thinking on it, no? And
Galing.
reflecting, and I started owning things.
And less about you, but more and more how you deal with other people. No?
Yeah.
Okay, back to your character. Bakit hindi mo siya mapakawalan?
I think it is important. May mga, ako yung personality ko at times, yung parang, if I really feel like kaya kong tulungan yung tao to be to be better or
Gets.
to put more value in himself or herself, hindi ako bibitaw. Diba? And sometimes I wonder if they want to get away from me because of embarrassment or because of trust issues. Kasi magkakaiba pa rin yun, diba?
Yes.
And so I feel like I have to reassure you.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
I may not be able to do everything the way you picture it in your head.
But
I will take
I
care
will
of
just be
you.
there, yeah.
Diba? I will take care of you. I am your friend.
At
or
one
I am your
point,
father.
your character was a selfless one. Ako yun yung ano, parang, kasi if people are waiting for, ano ba yung redemption nito? Yun yung gano'n, di ba? Pero sabihin, ang tanga-tanga naman niya, pwede na siya umalis dun sa character, pero nagpaka-savior pa siya nga para itong taong to. Pero,
I think he was there until he was there until the revelation of that.
yung,
Oo.
yung may threat na yun.
Oo.
Yeah.
That's when he realized, what did I get myself into?
That's true.
Diba?
That's true.
I think yun. And then, it's probably at that part when the character had this whirlwind of questions in his head.
So, well, also another learning, parang from all the yeses in your life, and you've said yes to a lot of relationships, parang it
Parang
also
ako yung
matters.
sumagot.
and it matters whom you say no to, no?
It does. I not that I've ever really gone through anything like that, but you have to realize when a person is destructive to you.
That's true.
And you have to preserve yourself.
So we are defined by the people and the things we say no to.
Yes.
Ang hirap lang kasi late na natin kung minsan nalalaman yan.
Takot tayo maghumindi
No,
eh.
totoo.
Kasi ang feeling natin tayo yung masama.
Totoo.
Pero you have to know kung kailan ka mas mapapasama, and you have to say no to that.
You waited until the last 1/3 of the movie before you
Diba?
realize that. Elijah, ikaw, hard to identify with your character, but it's so challenging. Which part of you resonated in your real life?
I think it's
Kasi ginulat tayo ni Elijah. The scheming parts.
that ending, actually, it's very...
That ending part.
Actually, ako yun!
Yun parang, wow, okay.
No, it's really
May
far
part
from me.
dun.
It's really far from me,
far.
but I share a lot of pain and the sadness that my character went through as well. And I guess it's just my empathy talaga towards Direct June being, he's someone that I've known for a while and someone that I look up to, and even Direct Percy. So it's like, naintindihan ko yun, and I can empathize with that, and once the empathy is there, it's easier to feel for the character.
Gets ko naman yun. Pero ikaw, leaning towards what of your character yung pwede kang maka-identify ba? Pwede mong mamahal yung professor mo?
No.
Hindi.
No.
Hindi
I
at
really
all.
don't believe in that.
Oo.
Kasi nga, there's a power dynamics in it.
Yes,
Siguro mahal
yes.
as a professor,
Professor,
mahal
pero
as a
hindi
mentor,
relationship.
as a father figure or whatever. But in
Sorry to be bringing this up.
Yeah.
Di ba may ganyang
Issue.
issue sa Philippine School for the Arts,
Yes.
and you distanced yourself from that, no?
I did.
Yun. So,
Because I was I was there in high school.
that's true.
And
you saw that happening.
I saw that happening,
At naging
I think
destructive,
my
diba?
kuya was open about it naman. So, yeah, he's a part of it,
Yeah,
he experienced it, and I couldn't feel for him anymore. And, seeing that happen to my brothers and my friends.
And you wish hindi mangyari sa'yo.
Wish hindi
Or
mangyari
to
sa akin.
anyone.
To anyone, as a matter of fact. And it's
Yeah.
crazy, It's just crazy that in this world, it's happened to a lot of people.
Na yun
being...
yung destructive. Yun yung power relations na pinipilit.
Yep.
But when what we was talking about, a real relationship that you were offering him, nangyayari rin.
I think, I hate the way it sounds, pero we are a bunch of broken people.
Yes.
And sometimes,
Totoo naman.
di ba?
Totoo
And
naman.
sometimes we think that
Totoo
when
naman.
something is comfortable, it could be good for us.
That's
And
true.
and so
That's
we
true.
fall into the wrong things. No?
That's true. Ang image nga dyan, parang wounded healers. We're all
Yeah.
wounded, pero we find ourselves healing ourselves and other people too in the process.
And because we're creatures of made up of so many chemicals and chemical reactions, akala natin pagka-addicting yung chemical reaction sa katawan natin, akala natin tama.
Mhm,
Diba?
totoo yan.
So, pag maraming cortisol, maraming
Correct,
adrenaline,
correct,
okay to.
correct.
Hindi
Kaya
eh.
mali rin yung go where you're happy.
Oo.
May ilan, kung saan ka masaya. Di ba parang sinumanta kung saan ka masaya.
Oo.
Pero
Mahirap
other
yun.
things make us happy too. So hindi lang kung saan maligaya, kung saan mabuti.
At saka you decide kasi how to be happy eh.
Galing nun, ah. Galing na to. Na, hindi ka lang kung saan masaya, dapat kung saan din mabuti. Yun, that's another thought. Your character was layered. Ang daming layers ng character na yun.
Isa siyang sibuyas.
Oo nga. Can you identify with the pagiging manipulative of your character?
No, not at all.
Not
at all. But I guess yung pagiging survivalist lang nung character. Like, he has to survive. He has to get through this. And he's also a victim, huh? Like, even
well,
at
maganda
the end
point
of
yun.
that,
Yes,
he
yes.
was
Para
a victim of all of
intindihin mo
this.
siya,
Yeah, he did not want any of that, you know? Siguro, like, na-appreciate niya na lang yung friendship with the professor, but...
Yun nga. Kahit yun ba, hindi mo papahalagahan para bigyan siya ng respeto at mag-reciprocate na hindi mo siya lolokohin?
And what's interesting about what Kuya Nick was saying a while ago, na plinay niya, like, as a father figure, that's how I wanted to play it too.
Yes.
Na hindi naman siya like that until nung na-reveal nga yung sa dulo na, okay, I need it.
Di ba yun yung part talaga when you're right. You know that, no? Parang iingatan mo yung character kasi ikaw yan, eh.
Yeah.
Pero alam mo yung training talaga, ibangga mo siya ng ibangga, i-challenge mo siya, i-challenge, at lalong lumalabas yung husay at ganda ng humanity.
Yeah.
So, yun yung ginawa dun sa pelikula ninyo. No? So, couldn't you have reciprocated such love para sabihin lang, may redemption yung character niya?
You know, it's possible. He kind of did kasi nga,
Kung
di
sa
ba?
totoong buhay, parang ako, yun yung siguro, because you went to the other extreme.
Yeah.
You really went to the other extreme. And then, I know some people who would risk that, ha? Yung tipong, the whole argument about proving yourself and getting fame, sa industriya natin, buo yan, eh. Yung tipong, makuha ko lang yung pera, yung kayamanan, yung popularidad. It's power for them. At merong iba magpapakamatay at magpapagamit para lang makuha yon. Pero may
ethical things siya.
may bawi yan sa dulo. Doon sa character mo nung iniwan mo lahat yon, tingin mo may space na pwedeng hindi naman niya gagawin?
I think yung buong conversation before it happened, tinatansya niya kung gagawin ba niya eh.
Yes,
gagawin ba ng character ko? Like,
kasi kung buo na yung isip niya, hindi na siya gagawa. Hindi na siya dadaan doon.
and my character, the way I played it, at least, like, my character had genuine care for my professor then. Hindi yan lang basta ginamit. Kasi by the end of it, di ba may line doon na parang hindi mo ba gusto yon na hindi ka na lang ganito ngayon, ganito ka na ngayon.
Totoo yan.
So parang he's trying to help him also. He knows that he's a victim about all of this na kapareho kaming pinag-uusapan sa department. Yun yung nangyayari. So,
but you both didn't care about that, no? Parang hindi na yung sasabihin ng tao yung concern niya, but how you would deal with it.
I think my character cared, but he just knew the truth na wala naman talaga nangyayari. Even him, na parang, bakit wala naman nangyayari?
Kilala ko yung kung sino yun.
Right?
Yung nagko-correspond, yung okay, kasi mararationalize mo naman na wala. Kahit pag-usapan ka na and all. But in the end, parang, hindi ba pwedeng nagtagpo na lang at na-resolve yan? Hindi talaga. Mahirap yan.
Mahirap yun. But it's possible, for sure.
Oh. Ang gandang i-throw yung Could the book have been published?
I think that's the beauty of the open-endedness.
Yeah, that's true.
Diba? Na hindi mo alam kung which way am I going to swing? Am I going to support him or am I going to leave him?
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah.
Kasi ang daming...
Parang will I do the right thing?
Or will I do what's comfortable?
For me, ang ganda.
Diba?
Yun. Actually, those are the powerful questions posed by the movie. Gagawin ko ba yung pabar sa akin? Kaliligaya ko kasi sikat ko? Or kung ano yung tama?
Kung ano yung tama.
And hindi lang sa industriya natin, kundi kahit sa pamilya natin, kahit sa personal choices, kahit sa bayan natin, ganun. Yun yung tinatanong natin.
Yun yung dapat tanong natin.
Yun
diba?
yung tinatanong natin. Okay. Another layer, aside from relationships, sexuality. Ano yung parang it was as normal as it was portrayed in the film.
Yeah.
Was it deliberate? Parang was it coming from an acceptance of a society with that kind of or meron pa ring discomfort talking about it in the context of academe, for example. Kasi kung industriya ng showbiz yan, wala nang issue. Di ba? Kasi alam natin na oo, tanggap yan, yung ganyang power dynamics. Pero pag academe, may kahihiyan. Pa you're a teacher, no? So,
I mean, kahit
yun,
naman,
di ba?
kahit sa straight, di ba? Yung
Totoo
malabo
naman.
yan. Di ba?
Or yung kahit nga sa
problema
straight
yan.
kahit sa straight na matanda tapos bata.
Oo.
Parang yun pa rin. No?
Ganun din yung
pa
effect.
rin.
Parang sinasamantala mo yung bata, walang alam eh. Parang ganun yung dating, di ba? It was easy for me to do because I was open to it. I'm an ally. That's one.
At naiintindihan mo yung dynamics na gano'n.
At naiintindihan ko. I'm looking at it from the perspective na tao tayo.
Ally meaning you are a enabler of that kind of a relationship.
No, I'm an ally to the LGBTQA plus community.
But
so I understand.
With this kind of a relationship, parang okay, go.
Hindi rin ako sigurado eh.
Hindi pa rin.
Hindi rin ako sigurado. Not because
you've seen patterns of our friends.
Yeah.
Living this kind of
Yun
meron naman
nga, parang at one point I sat down with my gay friends and I said, I want you to have that kind of love. I want you to find that kind of relationship.
Ang ganda.
Pero I don't want you bouncing off one person to another trying to find that relationship because that's going to ruin you.
That's true.
And it's going to probably ruin the other person as well. So,
That's true.
ang hirap. Kung ilalagay ko yung sarili ko sa sitwasyon nila, napakahirap ng sitwasyon. Kung mahirap maghanap ng straight na relationship, mas mahirap maghanap ng hindi straight na relationship. Parang yun yung feeling ko.
Hanggang ngayon, Nick. Na yung ganong klaseng relationship. And some people would say, nagsusurvive yung sa kanila. Buti pa nga yung sa kanila, nagsusurvive yung iba, hindi.
I have nothing against it.
Yeah, that's true.
I have nothing. I'm totally in support of good relationships. I just feel na there are some bounds where you don't cross over.
That's true.
I'm a teacher. I will never date a student.
That's true.
That's one thing. I would not even want to look at a student in that way.
That's true.
Diba? Kasi that is just so wrong for me. Personally, that's my sensibilities.
Transport natin sa industriya natin, director and talent. May mga ganong nangyayari.
Merong ganon.
And then producer and
kung walang power
relations. Better, no?
Oo.
Better.
Ilabas natin yung professional aspect natin.
Yes.
Yung tipong pag sinabi mo sa akin, ayaw mo, okay lang, ayaw mo.
Yes.
Walang repercussions, walang consequence.
Na wala kang trabaho kung, di ba?
Oo, walang ganun. Hindi pwedeng sagutin mo ako para sumikat ka. Wag ganun. Pangit yun.
Correct.
Diba?
At least maganda na, hindi lang sa ating industriya, kundi yun, even in all industries.
That is not even a relationship. That's just plain manipulation.
Galing.
Diba?
Elijah, ano pa yung pwedeng in-advance na statement on LGBT relationships? This is powerful because parang it shows also the frailty and the fleeting nature of that.
It's different eh. It's different from a heterosexual relationship.
That's true.
Talaga the
You're in
dynamics
something now.
are
Ikaw,
very
as
different.
open as yun, kunyari, even the preparation for this gay film, no? Well, we can say that.
Yeah.
You're attending mga queer fests for
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
no? And your girlfriend is supportive of it and understand the dynamics. Pero, ang hirap, paano, ano pa yung lessons na bago about relationship na fino-forward ng movie?
It really opened my mind, no, na hindi lang yung monogamy is a concept that we're very familiar with
Heterosexual relationships.
Yeah, with heterosexual relationships.
Kasi dito wala naman kasing ceremony to seal that, no?
Yeah.
At kunyari, even properties, even even you taking care of the body, responsibility of the body of a dead partner, hindi sa'yo bibigay.
Conjugal rights.
Wala talaga.
Yeah.
So, tama yung monogamy.
Yeah, I always thought it was very different. Pero, medyo same nga lang din naman kasi...
Dapat.
Yeah, kasi you put yourself in a relationship and you care and love this person, whoever your partner is or your partners are, so much na you sacrifice a lot of yourself. that goes with heterosexual relationships,
And gay
LGBT
relationships,
relationships.
yes.
Like, it's the same. And
Pero-
nakita dun sa characters how much his character sacrificed of himself. And even Marcos, yung ginampanan namin both
That's
na
true, that's
madami
true.
silang sinasacrifice for each other. And I think that's yung foundation ng love.
Pero bakit parang ang hirap mag-work?
Kasi it's the ego, it's the pride, no? It's the ego and the pride na parang, okay, I'm sacrificing a lot, paano ako? And that happens in real life.
And then may extra layer ng society pa.
Yeah. No,
Yung
what they
ano,
think.
What they think, and hindi ka mahihiya ng mga tao at hindi ka maniniwalaan ng mga tao. At yung panghihiya sa'yo, may society pa nakasama ng panghihiya.
At nakakatawa doon, yung paano tayo nagpapa-apekto sa mga taong wala namang kinalaman sa buhay natin, di ba?
Totoo rin naman. Pero ang bawi kasi niyan, we are also, much as we are private,
We coexist.
At may public life naman talaga. At yun, kitang-kita na yung pagtatalaban nga ng sarili ng industriya natin or yung education nga, yung mundo nun at saka yung bansa.
But may I ask?
Yeah, go.
Because since you mentioned that we are communal people, or we're public, and at the same time we're private, where does the boundary stop?
Babalik ako dun sa kung ano yung mabuti. Siguro yun. Kung people will always say, tama nga, hindi sapat yung sabihin, saan ka masaya? Saan mabuti?
No, but I mean,
tama.
hanggang saan pwedeng makialam ang community sa'yo? Yun yung tanong ko. Kasi there was a time when I posted something like, yes, I understand.
Ganda ng tanong.
We're public figures,
Ang ganda ng
but
tanong.
we're not public property.
Totoo rin naman.
So,
Pero as showbiz characters, showbiz personalities, sinasabi nila property ka na nga ng mga tao, pero hindi.
Hindi dapat. You're a public figure, you're not a public property. That's a good answer.
As much as you were allowed. Yung parang, pag nag-overshare ka, be open to bashers and judgment.
Yeah.
Kung hindi mo i-open, hindi. Pero ito nga, hindi ka nila ino-open. Pero apektado na sila agad. Wala pa nga yung librong public. Pero ito yung takot ko, yung pelikula public.
Yung pelikula public. But it's out there, you know?
I know. And
already.
it's open for interpretation. Ako that's the beauty of it. It's a masterpiece. Wala akong itatapon. Yung tipo, the technical aspect, the elements of film, para dalawang tao masusustain yung interest mo ng isa't kalahating oras.
I think lahat ng estudyanteng may subject or course na filmmaking, intro to film, script writing, directing, please, not because it's our film,
and all insights,
but really watch it.
On human behavior,
The cinematography, the psychology, the ethics, everything. Andun lahat
In question yan. So, any other thing that you'd want underscored dito sa, ano pa yung stark realization? Oo nga, no? After watching it for the first time last Tuesday.
Ako siguro, it's a separation of the art from the artist. You know,
I want to believe that. But
that's a very hard concept.
I know.
We studied this in UP, sa course sa Philippine Arts kasi it's hard, you know, like, syempre meron mga filmmakers dyan na are very bad people, or kumari like Polanski, or Woody Allen, or something like that, right? So, parang how will you appreciate their films still? But I love Annie Hall.
And real people, like, the real genius are the ones who empower other people.
Yeah.
Like, kunyari, ako, Mario O'Hara, ako nakatrabaho mo yan, di ba? Iba pa, teacher siya na tipong, he will make you feel good about your artistry and all. Yun, hindi yung katulad na character ng teacher sa'yo na hinihiyain ka.
Pero ang galing kasi when I read the script, ang dami kong ang tanong, di ba? Pero yung ending, yung lines ng character ko sa ending, that whole conversation in the ending.
Na kayo na lang.
Yeah. Yun ang sagot ni Direk Jun sa akin. Yung art is art, this is it, whatever saan pagaling yan, it's art, ganito, ganyan. And I guess yun yung na-come to terms ko when I watched the film, no, na parang this is a great movie. And I care for these people a lot, and they had the strength to come out with it and to expose this and be honest with it.
At saka kung lunsaran yan ng other thoughts, other insights to help you go through similar situations or answer real questions, kasi ito yung mga tunay na tanong. Yung magandang pelikula, yun yung not to give you answers but to make you ask more. Ako, yun. Ang
This is
dami
that
kong
film.
tanong even after watching the film. And it challenges your soul. It really challenges. Yung tipong, paano kung nangyari sa'yo yan? Yung tipong, you wouldn't want to be in that situation. Ako, at a certain point, you'd feel, ang ganda ng relationship nila, paglalaban nila. Pero when the layers happen, dun talaga yung So, well, back to your context as an artist now. Nasabi nyo na yung natutunan nyo dito. Ano pa yung hopes? Well, let's hope that people will watch it. Pero sa sarili mo, Nick, after doing this and watching this film, your hope as an artist and as a person now?
The experience kasi is that
Aren't you looking for these kinds of projects eventually?
actually, alam mo yung para siyang often heard but never tried soft
That's
drink.
true.
Yung ganon na parang
That's true.
pag nasubukan mo na, ito
That's
pala
true.
hinahanap ko. Yung ganon, di ba?
Like a drug, yeah.
Oo, gusto ko pala to. Yung ganon. For me, it's the process, the film,
It affirmed you're being an actor, no? Or it opened doors to you wanting to create more and have your hands...
Honestly, too soon to say for me. On that, yung sa
You don't
part
see
na
yourself
yan.
like kunyari directing something like this or writing something like this?
Now I want to direct something.
Okay,
Pero,
that's a nice
pero,
That's
I am not sure if I can do it this masterfully. That's one.
Hindi. It starts somewhere.
Two,
Hindi naman. Mas marami ka pang truths to tell. Hindi naman siguro ganito yung mo. Yung sasabihin yung kwento.
Two, I want to write. I want to tell good stories.
good,
because
good,
I
good,
think there's a lot of really good stories out there.
Good. Nice
You know.
point. Elijah, after this, okay, you want to be more accessible. Now that's the aim. But then eventually you were diverted to doing something like this. But of course, you'll always fall for something na will challenge you, no? So, what do you see yourself doing? Ano pa yung hopes mo sa sarili mo at bilang artista at bilang tao?
It's a blessing to be a part of something like this. Yun nga, after watching it, parang, we did that. Yun talaga yun, yung realization. Ginawa namin
parang
yun.
dalawang oras, hindi pa tayo natatapos pag-usapan yun. No?
Ginawa
Talagang,
namin yun.
there's so much things to share about it. But after this, look, moving forward, will you look for a novel that will make you?
Honestly,
Or what?
di naman sa yun yung conquest ko in life,
That's
no?
true,
It's not
that's true.
na yun yung main goal ko.
That's
But,
true.
having materials like this to your legacy,
Yeah.
films like this, your filmography, ganyan, na people will watch and it will mean something to people. That means a lot na to me. I feel like I did my job na in that aspect.
Nabasa ko yung interview mo na sa amin, mo gusto magkaroon ng filmography na parang Eddie Garcia.
Yeah,
So wala ka
totoo
pang sexy
naman.
film. O action film ka pa.
Madami pa.
No.
I have a long way to go.
So, yun, gusto mong buuin pa yung pagiging actor.
Yeah.
To give life
Definitely.
into more roles. More challenging roles. Okay, next. And to cover more people, para to reach more
To be
people.
more accessible, definitely.
Yan.
Parang I think a lot of people think of me as like I'm such a serious actor,
That's true.
ganyan. Kung
That's
kilala lang nila ako.
Ay,
Like,
oo
serious
naman.
naman.
Oo naman.
Pero malakas din
Pero
trip ko.
nag-iisip. At least. Next. Oh, well, just another hour probably, pero we'll end it here. But how do you consume your art now? What sorts, parang ito naman yung hopes natin sa industriya. How can they consume this when in fact, sa totoong buhay, people would rather watch Harry Styles, K-pop,
Totoo.
and less people are going to the
Totoo.
movies.
Streaming.
So,
Yeah.
streaming and all.
Ako,
Like, paano yun?
one of my answers would
Industriya
be,
naman natin.
we've heard you say, wala kasing magandang panoorin.
Yung sinabi mo.
Wala kasing magandang storya, wala kasing bago.
Eto na.
Bigyan nyo ng pagkakataon.
Eto na.
I'll be fair and say, watch all the entries.
That's true.
Panoorin nyo lahat yung entries kasi
true.
doon nyo lang masasabi na may mga ginagawang pelikula to progress our movie industry.
Can I push it? Why do they have to watch it in the theater?
Kasi if you wait for streaming and if you wait for rentals or pirated versions, kayo rin yung pumatay doon sa industriya ang hinahanapan nyo. So,
Tama.
ganun naman po yun. Kailangan yung suportahan yung hinahanapan nyo ng progress, di ba?
Ang ganda ng point.
Hindi pwedeng hanapan mo ng progress tapos nasa ibang ibayo ka tapos hindi mo naman siya natutulungan din.
Ganda ng punta.
Walang magsusulat ng panibagong storya, walang magdidirect ng panibagong pelikula, walang arte sa mga ganitong pelikula kung naniniwala talaga sila na hindi nyo naman papanoorin. And the reason why we keep making these is because we understand there are really good stories, there are really good ways to tell a story, and there are really good venues for actors, directors, writers, cinematographers. But at the end of the day, yung suporta niya yung kailangan.
Yun. Parang
Diba?
parang ginawa, pinaghirapan
na namin.
Pandemya and all.
Oo.
Para lang mapanood ng mas maraming audience. Pero ngayon naman yung hamon na sa inyo. No?
Oo.
Parang, yun namang tugon na sa inyo.
Oo. It's not so much as, of course, parang a notch on your belt pag sinabing, "Uy, blockbuster, top earner yung pelikula mo." Pero hindi yun, maniwala kayo sa akin, sa tinagal-tagal ko sa trabahang to, hindi yun ang hinahabol ng mga gumagawa nito. Ang hinahabol nila, makita nyo yung pinaghirapan nila at magkaroon ng magandang epekto sa inyo
At
yung
yung
pelikula.
tama sa inyo, yes. Elijah here, parang it being part of the very first Summer Metro Manila Film Fest, kakaiba na rin. Parang, it's not the usual Vice Ganda, Vic Soto, Coco Martin franchise during December. Di ba? At least, no? Parang, at least, or not that there's something wrong with that.
Yep.
Parang may season para doon, yung pambata. But this one, we're giving them an alternative this summer. So, you think people should waste like kunyari 500 pesos?
Yeah.
Oh, they should not waste, but
Not
spend,
a waste
spend
at all.
500 pesos.
I really have so much respect for the MMFF for doing this actually, and it's not a waste.
Yeah, that's
Bawi
true.
yan. It's
That's
a
true.
being inside the cinema, being inside the theater, getting to see the final product in its full glory. Each detail. Kasi
That's true.
deliberate yan eh. Yung mga filmmakers, the
that's
actors,
true.
deliberate yung pagkakagawa. So
And see how they fill up the screen.
yeah.
Dalawa lang sila.
And yung
Yun,
sound,
yun.
yung music, everything.
At kung paano sila nag-iiba every time meron silang glasses.
Yeah, Direk Jun was saying this Direk Jun was saying this during the press con. Na parang it's a combination of all the art forms.
That's
true.
true.
Being inside the cinema, you get to experience that with a
That's
group of
true.
people. It's a communal experience, and there's something special about that.
I'll push it. Sorry, my
Go
friend.
lang.
When was the last time you went to the cinema?
A week ago.
Talaga?
Yeah.
As in good. Kasi yun na nga yung mga tao, sasabihin ganun, our government should be helping our cinema and treat us like an industry really. Parang sibuyas o parang the banking industry or telecom na kailangan natin ng tulong. Kasi people are saying, people are going to streaming because ang mahal. Nagulat ako sasabihin, 500 pesos ang mahal. They'd rather watch it at home when it's accessible. Hindi sila gastos ng pamasahe. Hindi na sila, parang pwede silang pumunta, gumawa pa ng ibang mga bagay sa bahay.
Yeah.
So how do you answer that now?
It's still a special experience. Ako kasi
That's
I'm
true,
really
that's true.
addicted to being inside the cinema.
Iba, no? Yung after
Iba
that,
talaga
meron kang usap.
Yeah, may debriefing,
kausap, yes.
over
And like
coffee.
you, kung theater, yun nakukuha yung instant reaction.
Yeah.
Ito, meron kang debriefing at yun meron
Yeah.
kang yung
And
leveling off with
like
other people.
100 of you inside the cinema, or at least 50, diba? Tapos sabay-sabay
That's
kayong
true.
tatawa, sabay-sabay kayong magugulat, sabay-sabay nyo maririnig yung mga
Sana
reactions.
ganon.
It's special.
Tsaka
Sana ganun.
iba yung comfort sa bahay and then you can be just lying on your bed. Pero that's a very passive way of watching. Para sa akin,
That's true.
ang theater, ang cinema, kultura yan eh. Sana maalala ng sa kahit anong bansa, part ng culture yung filmmaking nila eh.
Totoo naman.
At kung bibigyan nyo ng pagkakataon, i-research yung Philippine cinema, ang ganda ng kultura natin when it was
Huwag
in the,
natin walain.
Wag natin
walain
isayang,
yan.
'di ba? Wag natin bitawan kasi kultura din po natin 'to kahit papaano. Dito mo pa rin makikilala ano ba ang Pinoy. sa paggawa, sa pag-execute, sa pagkikwento,
Galing.
sa pagsasabuhay ng mga taong
It's like
ginagamit.
seeing the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Diba? Parang we've all seen the Mona Lisa, pero when you see it in person, it's
Iba
different.
pa rin.
Iba pa rin.
You watch it in the cinema and I guess, ginagawa nyo rin accessible. You'll be visiting the cinemas, I guess, and have more talkbacks like this, no? Kasi doon lang talaga nagbubuhay yung ganitong mga reaction. If further kita natin yung sarili, yung komunidad natin, industriya natin, yung bansa naman natin, with this kind of film, how can it help us advance our thoughts as a nation bilang bansa?
For another project, I did my first Sogi Bill seminar.
Galing.
No? And I had
Galing.
questions and I had learned a few things na parang hindi ko na-realize dati and hindi ko nakikita noon.
So with these questions, di ba, na pagkatapos mo panood yung pelikula,
Oo,
tama naman.
parang
Tama
you have to open yourself up. I would dare say nga kanina sana na parang kung meron kayong na-miss out na date sa mga relationships nyo, i-date nyo, panoorin nyo itong pelikulang to. Sit down there, forget about the gender of the characters
Totoo
on screen,
Exactly.
and learn about relationships.
Totoo rin
Diba?
naman. Masterclass in relationships also, no?
Diba? So, yun din. Parang,
Even country management, I guess, this is about control.
It is.
This is
It
about
is.
like hearing other people and not having things na pang trade off.
if you use it for contextual learning, power manipulation to eh. So, diba?
Yung kabuuan nun, di ba? Parang, kung if we manage our relationships, like how we manage our country,
Patay.
delikado to, di ba? Delikado to, but it's real.
Oo.
It's real. Elijah, ikaw, yung ibang, lalo na yung pinagdaanan mo dito, ibang bansa ka. Ganon ka. Pero, first world ka, kasi alam mo, China ka. Di ba? Anong gano'n, no?
Oo.
Marunong kang
Like control.
mag-maneuver. Oo.
Like control.
So, parang, yun makikita mo, ay, sino man may power dito? Yung tipong gano'n, natatanungin mo pa sa mas malaking aspect na, oo nga, no? This is something to say about us being a country too.
Yeah.
It does.
So yun. Well, invite the people now. Sorry, but it was a nice plug, but then more
Yeah.
more like people.
Pwede naman nating
coming
i-tape yung
back.
next week mo.
Doon naman, grabe. It's life, death, and everything in between.
Oh.
Because yun, another suicide.
Yeah.
Yun, it's another
Yeah, that's a very
reality.
touchy subject.
Very, very, very. Okay, go.
We have
This
that
is
also
different.
in our film.
Oo rin.
Oh,
Almost. Pero hindi, pati Gen Z eh. Parang the comment on what you went through.
The film has a lot to say talaga.
Ibang klase. Now, and how it was compressed in an hour and a half. And then more questions being asked after. Ako dun yun yung mark of a good film. Mas marami akong tanong kaysa sagot. And it challenges you to be better.
Yeah.
Nick, go. Thank you.
Maraming salamat for having us. Ulitin ko po, sana supportahan nyo lahat ng pelikulang ginawa para sa Metro Manila Film Fest. Unahin nyo kami, thank you. Ihuli nyo kami, thank you. Huwag nyo lang kaming kakalimutan. About Us But Not About Us, directed by June Lana. Of course, from the Idea First Company. Starring siyempre, si Elijah.
And the Romnick Sarmenta of our youth.
Of our youth. Sana pa panoorin nyo. Thank you.
Elijah, go.
Yeah, same. Salamat, of course, for having us right now. And salamat sa MMFF for giving our film a chance, for giving our small film a platform.
Anong small? It is not small. It has gone to talent in some other countries.
Sabagay, good point.
And I don't know if it has been said. It's going somewhere else soon, no?
I heard.
Ayan, kala ko i-announce na soon.
Sila
Di pa. Oo.
Hintayin namin sila mag-announce para masaya.
Yun, it's going around the country, so parang wag maging dahiwan sa sariling bansa. Yung tipong gano'n, panoorin niya naman to kasi kahit Inglesan sila ng Inglesan, sana may subtitle na Tagalog naman.
At saka, rin, parang wag niyo na palampasin kasi naging critics pick na to sa ibang bansa eh. So it means something.
And we all saw it already, and no bias. We all feel like it deserves your watch.
It deserves a watch.
And then somewhere in this movie, you will be asking more questions.
Yeah.
And that's good.
And that's good. That's good.
And thank you for leveling up with us this afternoon, with me this afternoon. Salamat. Bihira yung ganitong conversation sa ating industriya. And it's good touching base with people in campus also like you. And we miss it. And I hope you go back to theater soon. Because it's also something that makes you different from all the other people in this industry. And yun, you always have our respect and support.
Thank you very much.
Maraming salamat. Elijah Canlas and the Romnick Sarmenta.
Thank you po.
Dito pa sa Level Up. See you next week. We're having Gerald Anderson and Kylie Padilla with their movie Unravel.
Wag mo na kayang palakasin, wag na wag mo na kayang palakasin, wag na wag mo na kayang patagalin, tinanaw mo na gawin.
Mga Katipuneros, it's time to level up. Your talk variety program showcasing the best in media and other fields. As we feature the most loved personalities and the best practices of what we truly refer to as Magis. Together with multi-awarded multimedia guru Mr. Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.